All right. I think that means it's time to give it the one. Okay, that's pretty good framed up. And then the two.
Oh, decent.
Hey.
A two.
And that's all right,
All right. Yeah.
We
Look
got-
at that.
Welcome back to the half-butted, run gun Truther Cast, the home of the Truther Cast. We are here to take your truth order. So let me know if the microphones are coming in good, coming in too hot. Maybe they're coming in too quiet, unlikely mine. Or maybe there's too much echo. It looks like there's echo, but that's how last week was. And when I listened back to it, it was not true. So now I don't know what to think about anything, just kind of like the last week we had.
The things that would make sense don't make sense, and that's just how life goes.
Everything's nonsensical. But if you are joining us here for the first time of watching some nonsensical talkings of, the last weekly roundup of alternate information that might have fell off the beaten path that the mainstream news media and the mainstream feed that you might, have, wasn't telling you. And somebody said, hey, why don't you come check out this Truther Cast? I enjoy you for stopping by. You should hang out for a while, give us a sec. And, we get on into it. We get into the locals community where it's a private non-tech censorship platform where I post things all through the week, that are a little bit from the, citizen journalist or the independent journalist and stuff like that. And help you build a better news feed because, we're attempting to just not be like two more guys out there on the internet complaining. And, we just want to help people build a better news feed. But, if you are a regular frequent flyer like Miss Wilkins saying here in the live chat, thank you for telling us that the microphones are not too bad. They're fine, according to her. If you don't agree, maybe you can debate with her in the chat. She loves debating things, especially AIs. Wait, no, that's me. But if you're a frequent flyer, thanks for coming on back, folks. Thanks for hanging in. Let us know what you think about the topics throughout the show here down in that live chat or in the comments down below if you're watching on the replay. Like most places, we like to open it up with a few ways that you could possibly help keep the lights on. If you do find anything here helpful, some of the information being interesting, maybe we help load you up with some mind bullets so you got some argumentative points the next time you have to talk with a coworker or maybe a client or something. Heaven forbid a client. Soon they won't be a client, but maybe a friend, a family member, or some kind of an internet foe. If you got a few mind bullets that were nice and you dug it, maybe consider, if you got a computer, checking out that signup.toleratetech.com in the description link box down below. Help yourself out, get that computer coverage, the security, and the support that you need from a like-minded tech guy, me, Scott, your new revival tech guy. So check that one out down below, signup.toleratetech.com. and get rid of computer frustrations and be a little bit more protected out here on the scary, wary, interwebs and stuff like that. But if you don't have that much money to cover your computer, which everybody should invest in, if you use your computer more than twice a month, you can go over to that locals community by simply hitting that join button right there down below. It'll take you over to the locals. You can make a free account. You can use your Rumble account. It's really nice and easy peasy. And, you can look for free. It's free looks. It's kind of like the first one's free, or like free smells, the good old Jimmy John's that I used to like before McDonald's owned them. And, you can hang out there for free. But if you want to comment, your 2 cents or, some helpful additional information, or maybe you want to actually post and you want to help us build the weekly show by, posting in the locals community, you can sign up for the, what we got to call it something. I was spitballing this. What do you think about this? The Truther Tribe?
Oh, it's got a little pizzazz to it. Yeah.
Found a little alliteration. Everybody likes alliteration, right?
Right. Yeah. James Quick,
So instead of like Primo Squad, that was just the generic running name for the last 2 years.
Wait.
Truther Tribe.
Is it Jim Quick?
Primo
James.
Tribe? What?
James Quick? Jim Quick.
Oh, Jim Quick.
Jim Quick.
Yeah. We need more memory lessons from Jim Quick.
Yeah, allegedly.
But if you would like, you can toss us a couple dollars by signing up for that Truther Tribe in the locals community. Then you can comment and post along with us all through the week, and we'll highlight your stuff on the show as long as it doesn't suck. Like don't be posting all sorts of willy-nilly stuff. Something valuable, something a little bit vetted. We don't like just spinning the wheels here and filling the air. I don't like. I love Dan Bongino in general, but I didn't like watching his show, bro, because it was like talk show where he'd just kind of be spinning in circles to fill an hour or two at a time.
I never really watched the full show of Dan Bongino's.
So I'd get the highlights or something.
I'd watch like big snippets and some smaller clips, but I never actually watched it all the way through.
So we like to do stuff a little bit different here. It's a long form podcast. We're looking for, like a helpful hand that wants to help produce the show or edit some clips up so we can get some of those more digestible clips out there. But we try not to like run the whole show too long, so we kind of like end up jamming through it.
Yeah, except a couple weeks ago,
That was a good one when we had Jonah on the show.
Yeah, no, it was a good one. We just, it was a little long.
Like I'm biased, but it went 5 hours, but it was like really entertaining to myself.
Yeah,
like,
no, it was. It definitely was.
I really want some clips out of that one, Barrel. That would have been good. That was
So if you're watching the show and you're bored and you like editing videos, just contact us. Email the show, chime on in, message Scott. Tell him you want to snip some clips.
While you got the mic, bro, why don't you tell him the low key, the frugal way to help out around here?
The frugal way, if you're not an anti-Semite, is to share the show. Anti-Semite or not, really, sharing is caring, and the freest way to share the show.
And that
especially
way you can,
if you like have your stuff set up where AI is helping and like managing your shit. You just, hey yo, share this show, would you? Whatever you named your AI, and it just bloop bloop.
That's what I need to do.
It on off. Look at that. You didn't even have to do the 3 clicks anymore. Remember? People, the whole 3 clicks thing, hopefully maybe it's 5. I don't know. It's a couple clicks.
That like share, pick a person, send.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It depends probably on your, operating system
which
and
platform you're using.
Blah, blah, blah.
Share, pick a person, send is pretty ubiquitous.
And getting way too tismy into it.
Yeah.
But yes,
share it.
Sharing, that's the main thing. Share it one form or another.
But you share the show.
You're not paying money per se. You might spend some seconds doing it. Maybe if you have some difficulties, it could be minutes. But it's all for charity and for a good cause.
And I feel like until we're more popular, no one cares about our real life. So let's get into it, folks.
Yes. Same as I. That is what they and I have in common. Let's get to the news of it.
Let's get to it.
What's happening with people in the world?
We are here in the locals community. And do I got like the paste left over?
Wild,
bang.
Folks. It's been wild. There's just all sorts of terroristic activity all over the place.
It's absolutely bonkers, bro. And the last one was also again in Michigan. So it's 2 in Michigan, like within a 1-2 day span.
Is there something that Michigan's hiding from us or that we haven't realized about the state of Michigan yet?
I'm going to go with Democrats and all the drugs, but it wasn't necessarily hidden.
Drugs. It's always the drugs' fault, isn't it?
If you're into the Tylenol thing about Tylenol allegedly causing autism, this was a pretty good breakdown, man. I don't even know if I like this YouTube doctor
that
guy,
was definitely a hot topic this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everybody was talking about the Tylenol and autism.
And talking about the dumb woman who, to spite Donald Trump, OD'd on Tylenol, and now she's maybe dead and the baby.
Oh, what? Like that happened this week too? That's a fresh thing?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
What?
At least one that the news covered, talked about, and then because there's a whole bunch of them on freaking social making videos like,
dude,
screw Trump, I listen to science, and then they're like popping Tylenol and downing it, and you're like, how many times did you take that clip, bro? I hope you didn't take one for each. Like, oh no, I messed it up. Let me redo it again.
How many Tylenol did they ingest is my main wondering.
How many Tylenol does a Tylenol take if a Tylenol could murder?
How many Tylenol do you have to pop to get to the popping of your consciousness into the next realm?
It's no good, man. And then we're not medical professionals. We do not make any advice, recommendations, or suggestions. However, I can say I wouldn't pop a bunch of Tylenol all back to back. I'm like,
I know.
I wouldn't do that myself. I don't know about you.
I mean, this is where
people tell me it's not a great idea.
This is where reading instructions in the manual helps out. You know, there is a little, a few numbers and letters and words telling you how much you can have on a Tylenol bottle to be safe. And apparently they just said, no, I'm not reading it. Oh, I mean, you know, it might not have been that. It was either, oh man, this Tylenol just really ain't working. Let me take some more.
Or did you miss the point of the story? They did it, making a video going, I don't listen to Trump. I listen to science, and then did it.
That was
the whole point of it, bro. Was they were making TDS patient videos. I
didn't know that was connected to this exact bit.
They were making TDS patient videos. A reference. No.
Like to a different event.
Woman that made TDS videos like, oh, that's gonna stick it to Trump. My baby's not going to have autism. I don't listen to him.
It sure stuck the "you're right" to Trump medal right now. Like, that's all you did. Dang. Wow. Be careful what you try to prove and what the point of that then result's going to be.
Mega handicap.
Just try to prove a little point. Dead.
You know, Trump's not a medical professional either. However, he did repeat the words the medical professionals said.
But he's not a medical professional either.
That's rough, dude. That's rough. And then now that we go reverse chronological, fresh information. What was this one? Yeah, this was the dude. And so my big end of the week, start of the show takeaway is there's so much crap going around. No. Everybody's getting black-pilled right now. Oh, I don't know what way to everything's upside down and crazy. I don't know what to believe no more.
Things happen in every corner. I guess not every corner, I'm being way too over-literal with it. But, just everywhere, everything.
Michigan.
There's way too much crap happening. It went from stale weeks to, whoa, this is too much. It's just overwhelming. I just want to turn off the TV, turn off my ears,
And it's just been hockey stick going up like a good investment, dog.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite of you want for bad news.
Like your dream of an investment.
You know. So more and more people are kind of checking out, bro. And then the last week, ever since Charlie Kirk, we had the guy in the subway that, took out the poor Ukrainian woman. The next night, somebody slashed up a professor, teacher lady taking a nice walk. Then we had Charlie Kirk. Then we had somebody hit a church. Then we had a church, then we had a church, then we had a church. Or maybe there's one too many there. I was getting slightly dramatic, but several way too many is right. So this most recent one, like we were alluding to before, was in the Michigan, And immediately the news comes out. The left wing ran deep state news media saying, oh, it's a Trump supporter. And then the internet
every time
is posting around these pictures of allegedly him wearing a Trump shirt. Allegedly he had Trump Vance 24 in the yard, but the picture was taken with like a stop sign under it. So then everybody's over analyzing and they're like, well, maybe it meant Trump Vance stopped them. But allegedly he was a registered like Democrat person. But then either way, bro.
I mean, there's been a lot of flipping recently, but
explain this to me. Flipping to the right. We had historical right flippings of the most counties ever in the 2024 election,
but,
right?
I mean, that still doesn't count it out. Like, even if he flipped right, then he could be going, oh, now he's not doing what he said he's going to do. And then he might have,
flip-flopped back.
Or got pissed off because he flipped and was like, this isn't what I wanted.
Which means he's not actually a MAGA supporter.
Right, yeah.
He's a flake.
Yeah.
He was technically supporting him.
Or a narcissist.
Not an actual MAGA. And then I theorize, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you please steelman this argument for me, Dan? We love playing this game here on the Truther Class.
Very magnetic today, full of steel.
Can you please steelman how a MAGA supporter, okay, let me frame this. A MAGA supporter means they're likely Christian of some sort of nature, or believe in God, agnostic, and they like Trump, and they like people, and they like Christian Trump supporting Republican people. Can you please tell me why this man drove his car into a Christian Latter-day Saints church, then walked in the door and shot a bunch of people, murdering one person and harming, I believe it's 9 others? Please steelman this argument. He had American flags on his truck and everybody goes, up, MAGA supporter. And then internet claims, I've got the photos of him with Trump shirt on and Trump signs. Tell me how that in any reality, I can't believe it, that man runs into a Christian church and shoots people.
Right, like for him to actually have the beliefs that's stated, for him to do what he did, does it add up?
It's the opposite.
Why? Like, why would he have done that here? Here's the steal. The church stole his eggs. He had some fresh pasture-raised eggs. They're great.
Like something happened and he just snapped, bro, and the guy's a loony, right?
Well, he brought him in. He was going to have him for lunch, and the church just took him up and served him to the whole committee, and he said, that is enough. I am going to mow this place down.
Right? Nothing to do with political nature. Just the dude lost his ish about the place or something. Like, I can't think.
I mean, unless the brainwashing is working that freaking good to where he went down a rabbit hole of reels, or maybe like they just kept playing. Maybe he passed out. Maybe like they're playing some crazy hypnotic, stuff after knowing that you're passed out, but you went down this rabbit hole. So they play a bunch of stuff because the AI and Wi-Fi now senses that you're sleeping. So they're like, all right, he's in theta state. We're going to now feed him the info.
Wait, hold on.
And then it starts playing a bunch of stuff to subconsciously program you that.
Are you saying
Christians just absolutely hate the Jews?
Are you saying everybody playing Truthercast Bingo right now should stamp the MK Ultra mention? So he was MK Ultra?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe. That's the only thing that I could think would make any sense. Like, he just got filled with so much hate of something, shoving a bunch of hate down his throat, where he's like, yeah, no, these Christians really are just horrible people and this and that. I'm just going to go.
And like Mr. Larry the OG says, crazy on all sides, bro. On all sides of what? Because there ain't no crazy on the right side, bro. That's all I'm hearing this week. Well, it's on both sides. And I'm like, no. When you look at the numbers that are like media, they say, oh, the right side's committed a bunch of horrible things too. When you look it up and you figure it out like more in depth, right? Bro, they classify Antifa as right-wing when they report a crime.
Well, that sure skews the results, doesn't it?
So skews the results. It's like, what the what?
I mean, yeah, of course, there's always a crazy somewhere, everywhere. There's never not going to be a crazy, I feel like. But
he's talking about Goldilocks like we just were in the beginning, bro. It's all about the Goldilocks zone 100%, man. That's part of the universe. It's
the
balance everything.
yin and the yang, the balance. He's got to be like water.
You think he got paid to take?
Water is also neutral.
saying he took a paycheck to get by the 3-letter agency to paint the MAGA side bad. Paycheck or a threat? We all think it's usually what they threatened his family,
or he was just a character plot,
or is just a troll that
plant
Manchurian candidate
character plant. Yeah, yeah, that'd be a better way of saying it. The Manchurian
information.
But yeah, on the other side,
the shooting, and then I also am talking about the shooter. Which
go for it. Go shooting first.
Okay.
The call came out here today, 10:20. Said was happening at 10:25 a.m. at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which is located at 4285 McCandless Road. During this incident, what we know right now is that a 40-year-old suspect from Burton, he's a male, he drove his vehicle through the front doors of the church. He then exited his vehicle, firing several rounds at individuals within the church.
Okay, yeah, we know this.
I think could be the 14th or the 17th.
If you don't know, this is the PBD podcast on the Valuetainment channel, or I think they got a PBD podcast channel too, but you should 100% follow these folks. They are amazing.
And Rob, if you can verify that, on which of the two he was. So, Vinny, what are your thoughts on this story?
Well, I mean, if you're out there and you're listening to this and you're paying attention even a little bit, it's obvious what's happening, okay? Christians are under attack, and we are the most persecuted religion on the planet. This weekend,
hot take.
Tom, I was listening to the audio Bible, and I'm not even joking. Right when this was happening, Matthew, the verse of Matthew came up while he was saying, "Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, and theirs will be the kingdom of heaven." Okay, but we have so many stories. I'm not even going to get into the second part of it, but you know, in the last few weeks, there was a coach. This was kind of
like covered most of that already, man. Yeah. But yeah, they're saying it's like this
dude. I feel like they're basically trying to whip up either a single one, or they're just like, if we can get all of them going, that'd be great, because you know their main thing is trying to get. Dude, that looks Photoshop. Why? Why does it look like
they slapped it on top of his shirt, bro?
Yeah, yeah. That's what I like.
Like it mushes into her weird.
It's kind of got like the light reflection, right?
What's up with this right down here? That's got Photoshop.
That's what I'm saying. Why is that so straight right there? I mean, like it could be, but I don't know. He's a bigger guy.
What happens here? There's not a straight line of the stamp. This kind of blends into there. So I think this shit's fake, bro.
It definitely would need a lot more zooming in and like forensic enhance observations.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's the bullshit.
Yeah,
but I'm biased, man. He probably seems to be like a left-wing radical, in my humble opinion. But these guys had some good takes. I basically summed it up. They're very similar, but they have a few more in there. And then their big push for the end of the episode is, I didn't know that he was into. He's like owner of Manect or like partner or something. I thought that he was just like on it, bruh. They got dude, what's his name? Map, the RPM plan. Tony Robbins is an official like promoter guy, like teaming up with him and stuff. So I guess this Manect thing's pretty cool, bro. It's like how to get one-on-one, like a little bit of consultation, like with a business, more kind of like topic or something.
Right. Thinking about it, yeah. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. I don't think it even matters what they paint him as. It's the actions it's not the story. It's the actions that actually happened.
So
and what did he do? He acted out the actions that the left side of things, the Democrats, are pushing. They're pushing for this rhetoric. They've been pushing for violent actions, and we got to fight.
So them saying he's MAGA, they're trying to blame it on our side, creating him to do it. But then our argument is like, no, dude, we condone the extreme righties that would maybe do this.
Yeah.
And they're naughty bad, but they're only doing it because the left's rhetoric is so hot, right? Where they feel like they need to pop off and do something wacky.
Yeah. And we're really, at the end of the day, It's because like we say they have too much going on. They think we have too much power going on. So what is it? Oh yeah, we're a checks and balances. That's the whole point of Congress in the U.S. is we're supposed to meet in the middle, make some agreements on some things, and then move on.
I heard a really good one.
Nobody will make an agreement. Everybody is like, it has to be my way. I won't like, or if they, it's unfortunate. A lot of people that say they're okay with it going the other way, they're just saying that. It's not, they really don't feel that way. They're just saying that way to like make it look that way. And then they're doing stuff behind the scenes, you know, because they don't really think it should be that way. It's like, don't, only say words of truth.
I heard a real good one this week, bro. How do you explain who the two sides are now? It's not right and left. It's not like liberal conservative. It honestly is the constitutional republic people against the democratic, how do they say it? The democratic multiculturalism. So the multiculturalism democracy is what they're talking about when Trump is a threat to their democracy. And it answers the question of why is doing all of this actually helpful for them? So if they can bring in an actual democracy, because we're not democracy, we have operations of democracy within the constitutional republic.
Right, yeah.
If they can get everybody on board with a real democracy, that's what leads to socialism. That's what leads to communism.
Yeah.
Like historically. So the bad guys at the top that want to control everything want to try and create democracy real, because the whole point of the constitutional republic of the founding of America was to try and protect from plain Jane willy-nilly democracy.
Oh, so what you're saying is, it's not a new trick in the book. They have been pre-programming this whole time. Democracy, we have to save our democracy,
interesting, right?
This and that, blah, blah, blah.
Interesting, right?
They're playing that script up. They're laying the script out so then their karmic debt can't be hit, and they're leading y'all sheep to your own slaughter. That's all that's happening. You got to wake up that you're sheep.
And why does everybody believe that we're a democracy, homie? I don't think we get taught that it's a constitutional republic enough.
Awareness brings realization, education.
But why does everyone think that? Where do they tell us that? Like everywhere. It's just everybody's general normal person that's not deep into like America thingy, like history or fact.
The schools.
Everybody thinks we're a democracy, right?
It's main what am I trying to say? Not multi. I want to say multimedia for some reason. So bad.
Educational.
The mainstream media.
Yeah.
And just education, like what they choose to be in the books, because like, I don't know if supposed to would even be the right word, but the goal in life to achieving like the next levels is just learning more, just understanding, coming upon more knowledge, understanding more. The only way you do that is by learning more. A lot of people just they just literally don't want to gain knowledge. And so then what they get in school is all they get. Everybody else that's curious about those things, that's how we find out it's a constitutional republic, because I don't remember learning that in school in a government class. Because I had a specific class just for government to understand the differences between all the branches, executive, judicial.
Social studies, right?
Well, the only time I actually had social studies was back in 3rd grade.
What was it called? Like
maybe 4th. And then it just went in, and then we did geography. Then we went to world history. I think
what do you call it in like middle school, high school? It's not econ.
Well, we had Gov Econ at one point, but that was more junior or sophomore year.
I had
AP Gov Econ.
I had social studies all the way up to 6th grade, and then when I went to middle school, 7th, 8th grade, I can't remember what it was called. But there you go, didn't have it no more. English, science, math. What's the other one?
Well, I think they're still doing. It's just they just don't go over. They'll tell you just enough so you think you like understand the structure, but then there's all these other things to the structure, all these little extras, little accessories, doohickeys, you could say, in the contraption that keep it working and can make some big changes in how the doohickey works. But if you don't know, you don't understand, and you just are living in the ignorance of bliss, which I'm not really talking trash because honestly, it's kind of nice because for how much I know, it's difficult. I'd rather be in the ignorance of bliss.
Right.
But
What up, Illusion? Thanks for the
understand.
follow, brother. Stay along for more tidbits. That's the tricky part, though, bro, is it makes everybody want to check out Black Pill, do the farmers complex, leave me alone. I'm going to go to this, go away from the city.
I'm going to go live in the woods,
And then if
live
you're-
off the land,
and then if you're not
away
lucky-
from life and people and civilization.
And then if you're not lucky, your parents are just some simple-ass regular folks, and they don't teach you this ish, bro. And then the school fails. And then right now, where we're at, since I was a kid, and I'm only 38, the propaganda of the school system convinced parents that they're dumb and their kids are going to learn more stuff in school. So just send them off to school, and that's the solution plan.
Yeah.
Because my parents, man, were like,
look,
yeah,
do
nah,
you
just
have a
go to the
plan?
school,
Do you have
bro.
a books
I
put
can't help
together to be
ya.
able to teach your kid? No. Oh, it doesn't sound like they're going to get taught very well. Oh, yeah, you're probably right. I probably should just let
Right.
you teach my kid.
I very much
There's like
believe
no
that.
way I could like get them to understand how multiplication and all this
And be
numbers.
functional in life.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't teach them how to read. Like,
Mhm.
no, you teach them to look at that word and then you sound it out with all the
Bruh.
the brain just recognizes symbols to sounds,
I want to know.
shapes to sounds. That's
wanna
kind of
know-
how like all the universe works. It's how like our body, like everything functions.
I
So
want to
you
know
pick it up.
real percentages on how many people use higher math and English and all the extra higher shit that you have to do in school. Like how many people
Well,
actually use that
the
in their
higher
daily
math,
life?
I would say, is actually utilized way more. Like because
Algebra and calc, bro. Algebra and calculus. How many normal people went through those classes and maybe even passed them, but literally do not remember, retain, or utilize any of it to this day?
I mean, there are a lot of people that are in that category. What
Bro, I did it and got A's, and I never used calculus in my entire life.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was a complete waste of my training and
Well,
schooling time.
For all the engineers out there, though, it is an important thing.
So if you
So
want to
there
do
are
that,
a
you
lot
go
of-
do that.
Yeah.
But then I should have been spending that time
Well,
and learning something
that's,
else.
Well, that's the other thing about it. It's the why you should lead with like passion per se,
Mhm.
because
Better classification of some sort.
yeah, because
man.
like there are things like there is some knowledge and education that probably should be like kind of mandatory, like minimum education you should intake and learn, and then after that it should be more just passion
That's why I said
based. I
higher.
would think.
That's why I said higher.
Like,
you
yeah,
got to teach.
if you know you like building things and you're probably going to want to be an engineer, start putting that kid through the higher math classes.
So
if the kid understands how to at least add up their math to where they could pay for their dinner tab, like that's what's needed.
Right.
Balance your checkbook,
Right.
which they also another important life skill. I don't
What's
feel like they
balancing
barely
a
do.
checkbook?
Oh, I don't feel like they ever taught kids that.
No one
growing
does that
up.
anymore, dude.
Oh, there still are, boomers around that still have checkbooks and do that.
My point is
like-
nobody does that anymore because we stopped teaching it, and then we got internet banking, and we didn't
yeah.
move to nobody.
This is
in,
why everybody's broke, because they don't budget.
and
They
nobody
don't
in
balance their
society,
books.
and nobody in society says, "Well, you still got to log in and then like look at your financials." And then guess what? It's consumerism programming. They don't want you to pay attention to your money. You just got to get more to spend more, dude. Get more, spend
And
more.
when you're
That's about
out,
it.
that's where you go to work and you just put in more hours and you do more work that makes GDP for our, country, makes the things go around.
Mr. Steve says, Sarah says hello.
Which is why, what's up, Sarah? Thanks for chiming on in.
Yeah, bro, like,
listening to heck yeah.
geometry and algebra, like basic algebra, because like variables and the moving stuff or whatever. I think that's like a good one. And statistics, like Larry says. Larry the OG said geometry and stats, bro. 100%. I think that should be like some base level bullshit that almost everybody learn or something like.
I mean, yeah, stats to a certain point. It was weird. I took stat for some reason. I don't know if it was the teacher or just like my mental point in high school. Like, all right, I'm kind of like over this whole schooling thing because it was my senior. It was my last math class, stats.
Well, hey,
And I felt like the way they like, because I passed the class, but it was just like looking at how the English words are described like how we understand what certain words mean, and then you put in stats. I feel like it almost changes like a lot of the words and like of what they're asking for in an outcome. Maybe I just really wasn't getting it when I was doing it, because the stats to run statistics, it does have some usefulness in the class, but it's not like stats how you'd think it would be. Just like normal stats of like all the.
So Steezy's a good example here. So Steezy says he's a CNC machinist, and decimals and CNC are way different than in high school. But I would argue that you're actually a good example of like, oh, you did use some of that math, bro, because I bet you that gave you a little bit better understanding of CNC math than if you like screwed off and didn't do any math at all in school or didn't get into it or something like.
Yeah.
So that's a good example of actually using it.
Yeah. See, physics is one I feel like is ultra important to being able to survive and like go through life without getting blindsided by some things. But you know, there's people that really don't understand physics at all, and they can just skate through life just fine. You know?
Yeah.
You might have some close calls or here and
like
there, but
you mean like the dirty Democrats that don't understand the transitive property of F around and find out?
that's just people who don't understand that. For the people don't understand that what you put into motion goes into motion might come back your way.
And what this guy put into motion here, folks, I'm assuming he's a Democrat because it turns out he was a financier for George Soros. And this man just got fully arrested, indicted, I believe, like not just indicted, arrested, indicted. Does indicted make arresting? This guy just got taken down, and he has a wacko, crazy, like, it makes me blush kind of thing, bro. Like, even going through this, I didn't want to get into it too much, bro. But, like, God bless, bro. Check this one out.
This is breaking like right now, huh?
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Howard Rubin, an ex-New York financier with ties to Soros, was arrested for sex trafficking women to a sex dungeon penthouse, according to the feds. Wow. So I think people need to understand.
Can we look at the who arrested him? Is this fed or state?
It's got to be fed, right?
Well, there are state statutes too. Let's see here.
Yeah. Federal prosecutors.
Yeah. So
I'm like, bro, you think state in New York are going to arrest this guy? Right.
They did it for Trump. Who was it?
Yeah, but
Trump.
But again,
if the case is big enough, they're going to do it.
No. George Soros tied guy is not getting arrested in New York.
Who was he?
Let me see here.
He was a New York financier.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
so
once had ties to George Soros.
Okay. Eastern District of New York. Okay. Brooklyn. That's where they run out of. Okay. Who ran the case? FBI or agent?
One of his bedrooms was soundproofed and painted red, and had a device that was used to shock or electrocute women.
I want to know
what.
I want to know what. Can we pull up the indictment?
It's just.
I don't know how to find that. I mean, do you want to find it?
Yeah, I'll go. I'll look on Pacer.
Long story short, that jacked up. And so this dude was like doing
real life. What was the movie and book series that all the women were like, oh my god, oh it's so hot.
They were doing weird wacko stuff like that in that. I thought that was more just like
he had a like sex dungeon room and shit.
You talking about like 50 Shades?
Yeah.
Oh God, I never even listened to like what the effing story was of that BS.
I just ended up having to watch either a movie or most of one of the movies.
No.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah, I don't even remember how I got myself in that position. I think it was just
the current girlfriend.
Probably.
Yeah,
it was like, you want to watch it? Okay, yeah, we'll watch it.
Oh Lord, yeah.
Watching like, man, this is what y'all got like.
Yeah, bro.
They are programming hard.
That's messed up, bro.
There's some of it's just like, yeah, it's existed. Some people it's just out of their comfortability. They're like, whoa, that makes me uncomfortable. Like, okay, just because it makes you uncomfortable doesn't mean it exists or it's like bad. And some people are into things. They're not harming other people. It's just, as in that world, it's like they're fetish or whatever.
I find it difficult because most of those things end up going off the rails and causing problems, bro. Like
it's a fine line. Yeah,
I'm biased, bro.
I think a fine line.
It's probably 80-20. 80% of people that are into kink things end up having problems in life, and it's more destructive to their brain or their life or the other people around them than it is, oh, I'm into that weird thingy. Because I've got a few people in my life that I knew did the swingers thing, and you're like, oh yeah, the swingers thing is real cool. All of their relationships fell apart, and some several times over. Like, you didn't learn your lesson the first time? Like, what the flippity dippity, dude? Like, that's brain dead.
Definitely not for everybody.
And then it starts going like compounding of craziness because people are like animalistic, right? So this guy's, man, he's pretty good. He's Myron Gaines. He does the One Big Podcast,
Yeah.
right? The Hot Cold or what it's called.
Yeah, whatever. It is.
So he was actually worked for the FBI, so he helped us pull up the indictment
Wait,
here.
that dude's worked for the FBI?
Yeah, for government. For like high up government.
Myron, that guy?
Yep.
Oh, so all the that makes it so much better.
Yeah.
I never would have thought he worked for the government.
Yeah. So he like knows a whole bunch of stuff, bruh.
So see, government people are sometimes not all government's bad. There's
They're not
some
all
people that
stuffy,
are
bro.
just like us.
Yep. And
that are
I
in
don't
there,
agree with
they're
everything he
just working
says.
a job, trying to support their, family. And
He
shit.
says some off the rail stuff where I'm like,
he
yeah,
says some
like, this guy's crazy.
very borderline sexist stuff.
He's
That's
very
probably the main
sexist,
thing.
yeah. Where I'm like, oh man, I don't know. But they pulled up the indictment thing. They figured out a whole bunch of shit. If you're into this, man, definitely follow the Timcast show. This is Tim Pool, Timcast. But definitely go follow them, man. But they broke it all down and shit like that. But long story short, that list of the Democrats doing jacked up, absolute messed up, like horrible, weird, freaking stuff keeps just going on, bro. Oh, so the point I was saying is that
Why
they
does he
figured
got a
out
black eye? Is what I want to know.
they figured out in the indictment that the dude's doing like jacked up, messed up stuff, and he's getting like women prostitutes and men prostitutes and like paying them to do like messed up, crazy shit, and then forcing them into things and then like prisoning them. And Myron was saying that this sounds almost exactly like the P. Diddy case. So he was just like weird cuck dude and then like doing weird wacko stuff. And it's like, God bless, bro. But this dude was a financier for George Soros, who is the mentor and one of the chief financiers himself to the Democratic Party. Like, let's not forget, in the Joe Biden election, bro, freaking George Soros was #1 donator to Act Blue, which Act Blue is the sole donation campaign website for the Democrats. They don't have all these other, decentralized, private small organizations like Republicans. There's only one. It's Act Blue, committing massive fraud that they're still being investigated for by the United States government. George Soros was the #1 investor connected to this dude. So this dude's funneling weirdo money into George Soros's weirdo pocket, putting it into the weirdo Democrats' pocket. Just saying, there's a weird trend here, folks. Like, super weird, man. I don't see a lot of Republicans getting caught up like this, man. And we would condone them and be like, well, that's a bummer. But it seems to be wildly 80-20, bro. And you find a few Republicans where, this Republican did this. And we go, oh, yeah, no, they believed in these policies. They were a rhino. So they were a Republican in name only. There are no Christian conservatives that are getting caught up really doing this messed up. And not saying all Christian conservatives are perfect, but the numbers drastically, like, completely out of kick, man.
Yeah.
Like,
can we just start focus? I feel like we got to make it like a trend or something, because things just don't stick unless they're trendy in the human culture. We make it a trend to just not vote based on whichever side they're on. Can we just start evaluating these people as the types of people they are? Like, really? Like, actually try to find out. As I'm saying that, I'm just thinking like, oh wait, like, depending, they've painted Trump, but it's like, I don't know Trump personally. Like, maybe he is kind of, but I do listen to people that know a lot of people that are pretty darn close to Trump, and they say it's not an act, and he is a pretty good dude at the core of things. Is he doing a great job at like what he's doing? Maybe not in some places at least, but yeah, we just got to go off based off character. No labels. No,
100%.
It's just divisive. Just is that person a good person? Do we believe they're going to have the best interest for us?
100%.
That's all it is.
Right. So right here, if we had like some producer guy that had time to help us make stingers, right now would be the time where we do the J6 update stinger. Because did you hear James Comey got fully indicted?
Yep.
Well, hot diggity day. So this guy got fully indicted.
Hot water.
What messed up here? If I go one click out, it. All right. So he got indicted.
We have no mediums here. Large or small.
And then there's a report out that there's a alleged leak. So it's not confirmed yet, like the AI I was arguing with. But there's a leak allegedly that a right-wing news outlet put out, and then Trump Truth posted about it. But the leak is claiming that there was 274 plus undercover agents in J6.
Yeah.
And now
that's a lot. That is a lot.
And that's what I estimated from all the other like rumored leaks of around that time and everything. I was hearing 270s.
It's time of we told you so again.
Right, bro. Yeah, I called my mom and I said like, yo, sorry, today's one of those ones where I'm annoying. Remember what I told you? Trump just posted about this, like, God dang. So Comey is right now getting caught on something else, but that doesn't actually mean necessarily that the 270 thing is false, because my example when I was arguing with AI was, well, you know how like Al Capone, did he ever go down for any kind of murder crimes or racketeering crimes or?
Wasn't racketeering that got him?
No, they got him for tax evasion.
Oh, yeah. That's right. He's a tax.
So he did a whole bunch of horrible stuff that's arguably 100% factual.
But the only thing that could actually pin him in a court of law was tax evasion.
Piddly taxes, which are significantly less severe compared to racketeering and money laundering and, you know, probably drug and human trafficking and murdering people and robbing banks, you know, like Big Al Capone, Babadoo, right? So, you know, what has this guy done that we had to like get him on this little charge for? But this one, I believe, is our good friend Liberal Hive Mind, right? What do we got for the opener?
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind.
Migraine, hypertension, stress, listening to liberal.
My whole head
all
hurts.
headache.
It's our constitutional duty to do oversight. Now, in that video, that was your answer to a question to me 2 years ago. When I said how many agents or assets of the government were present on January 5th and January 6th and agitating in the crowd to go into the Capitol and how many went into the Capitol. Can you answer that now?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Oh, last time, you don't know how many there were or there were none?
I don't know the answer to either of those questions. If there were any, I don't know how many. I don't know whether there are any.
I think you may have just perjured yourself that you don't know that there were any. You want to say that again, that you don't know that there were any?
I have no personal knowledge of this matter. I think what I said the last time.
You've had 2 years to find out, and the day, by the way, that was in reference to Ray Epps, and yesterday you indicted him. Isn't that a wonderful coincidence? On a misdemeanor. Meanwhile, you're sending grandmas to prison. You're putting people away for 20 years for merely filming. Some people weren't even there yet. You got the guy on video. He's saying go into the Capitol. He's directing people to the Capitol before the speech ends. He's at the site of the first breach. You've got all the goods on him, 10 videos, and it's an indictment for a misdemeanor. The American public isn't buying it.
And now, of course,
and this is what I mean by a reminder of January 6th, because thank you, Liberal Hive Mind, for making my job easy. He's got my favorite clip that I'll show almost every single effing episode, if I could, and it wasn't like redundant and annoying to the Hummer backers. Thanks for hanging in, frequent flyers. This is what you need to share to these people, man. Like just time clip it, bro. Go to 316 right here. Everybody knows 316, right? Stone Cold Steve Austin. Woo!
The Steve 316, and then there's the John 316.
Well, that's why I said 316, right? So this is my favorite
Both
clip.
religions, the religion of Stone Cold Steve Austin and the religion of Jesus Christ. You know,
Well, that's what he used. 316, yeah. So this is my favorite clip that I showed when everybody for the last how many years was trying to push the damn narrative on the mainstream fucking TVs and the news feeds and all your, people that aren't in the know that friends, family, and, regular freaking employee or, coworkers or whatever, they were pushing around this like January 6th riot thing. So now we have a rumor that there were 274 after he perjured himself, not Massey here on the screen now, but Comey.
Comey.
After Comey was, perjuring himself, most likely, I agree with Massey, they then admitted to 26. So officially on the books, the Fed has now officially 100% admitted out in public, unredacted, there were 26 undercovers at J6, right? We know it's more local, state, Fed, CIA, whatever you want to call. I guarantee you it's over 200 something, dude, in my humble opinion. In my guesstimation, no misinformation, it's an idea of mine that it was more than 200, right? Because please tell me who this man is dressed all in black.
To tip this
and now I think they're showing this in the frickin' in Congress or whatever, bro.
Situation from
they
a
pulled
protest
up
to
my
a
favorite
riot.
video, bro. And every time I've showed this to somebody, they go, "I've never seen that before," and I go, "Oh, I know."
Yeah, why does it look so awkward?
I've always said, what in the F is going on? This man dressed in all black, militant military, so whether he's military or Antifa, undercover looking like MAGA supporter, broke the window. They clipped this a little bit late. Broke the window, removes it, and then when he notices it's on camera, he starts threatening to punch the other guy like, "Why'd you break the window?" And then goes, "Did you do that?" And he's got like a camel bag on, and like it looks very militant, bro. Like the dude's educated, right? All blacked out, mask. We can't figure out who this guy is yet, still allegedly, right? And then starts saying, "Well, why don't you go in?"
A radio journalist from Michigan was shooting video that day at the Capitol. What he captured were two most charitably called suspicious actors, but they are dressed in such a way that led him to believe that they were government agents. And one of them, after the windows had been broken by a protester, it was encouraging people to pull the rest of the glass out and go inside. Bobby Powell, who was the journalist that had shot it, and he has his camera rolling, he told him that would be illegal. He warned people off not to go into that window, and then he turned his camera around and he caught this agent or suspicious actor pulling a large pane of glass out. When he realized he was being filmed, he quickly dropped it. It seems apparent on the video that he did not want to be seen doing what he just did. So he pulled in a protester and started blaming him. He said, "What are you doing breaking that window?" We don't know. His facial image is not on any of the Sedition Hunters sites or the FBI's most wanted site, but he clearly was committing criminal damage to property.
How is that one of the bugs?
And he has not been charged.
Why don't you guys open up? Because I think that probably be illegal. I know my glasses.
I don't know about you guys, but to me it seems a little bit suspicious. There's all kinds of very odd clips, not to mention Ray Epps and others. I'm sure
we've showed them all here on the Truther Cast, but that's my favorite.
Why would a guy in there trying to, show we're trying to not let you, pull no crap on us, and we're trying to, like, everybody there should be there as a team. Like, it doesn't matter what's happening. You all should just be in the automatic mindset, like, oh, this guy's here with me. Like, we're doing this together. But that guy, when the guy was like, "What are you doing?" Did you see him fist up?
Right.
And he was like raising as a threat.
Right.
That sounds like some possible authoritative position of the law type behavior.
Yep. 100%, dog. And then how about the ones that we covered on the show where we had the back end video of the police shooting those like explosive smoke grenades into the center of the crowd.
Into the middle of the crowd.
Not into the front of crowd to get them away from building.
Yeah.
In the middle of the crowd to like make them go willy-nilly and disperse everywhere, but specifically forward towards the building.
Yeah.
Just unloading them like they were having a blast. Like somebody told them, hey, man, you're going to get to cut loose right now, man. And then not to mention the other one I was arguing with the AI, bro. Freaking, what about the story about AOC? AOC said she was terrified and cowering in her chambers because the MAGA supporters were coming down the hallway. And then it turned out to be security guards that were coming to get her to make sure she was safe. But then also this was all an hour before the riot actually started. So like, what was she afraid of? Like, there's no way she would have possibly knew that the plan was to start a riot or anything, you know, right?
Yeah, like there was people coming into the halls.
I mean, and then it's not like she would have known.
She just assumed the halls were breached already.
And it's not like
even though the halls had not been breached.
And it's not like she would have known that Nancy Pelosi's granddaughter was filming the entire event and would actually have on footage Nancy Pelosi saying, well, we knew this was going to happen, and then it happened. Well, if you knew it, then why didn't you like accept Trump's offer for the National Guard to avoid it?
Or pre-plan ahead for best avoidance maneuvers.
By accepting Trump's offer of the National Guard, to which she said, no, turn it down. We don't want the optics of National Guard all covering around here. Wait, so if you don't want those optics because you're, me naive in that moment would have said, oh, she just doesn't want to rile everyone up seeing a bunch of National Guard. But what she really said, bro, is she doesn't want the optics to make everybody stand down and not go crazy.
Yeah. Just cut the show, Nancy. Get on national TV and tell us if you're just a complete idiot or if you're on the team for evil. Just tell us. Just get it over with.
Man, I think she already has several times. You know that time she stood up and ripped that paper up behind the president?
In plain words for the other ding-dongs, so their brains that aren't as up to speed.
When she stood up and ripped that State of the Union speech in half, homie, that was all the words I needed. That is uncouth. That was ridiculous, bro. That was the most ridiculous, unprofessional, and childish thing to do in a political setting.
Disrespectful thing to do with that,
right.
That position.
Speaker of the House, right? So you know how we were covering this is our comedic relief section of the show. So do you remember how I was talking about the TDS patients that were like, Trump said, don't take Tylenol. It'll give your kid autism. I'm going to take a bunch of Tylenol, right?
Prove him wrong. My kid's going to come out totally fine.
This just in, folks. Trump just came out. And make sure to share this to all your liberal friends. Trump just came out and said, you're not supposed to drink your piss. So do you know what the liberals are doing?
They're drinking their piss.
It's not medical advice. We do not recommend doing anything whatsoever without checking in with your medical professional. Check with your doctor. Mine's Mr. Bobby. Mr. Bobby tells me all these things, but...
Just jokes, folks. Just jokes.
For entertainment purposes.
Have you seen the trend of like, it's in the like stupid holistic like living trends on how you're supposed to drink some of your piss, if not all, like you're supposed to recycle, and it's like good for you.
Yeah, bro, I saw Waterworld, dog.
No, thank you, Andy.
I don't think you're supposed to do that unless, like, you know, you ain't got nothing else going on.
Yeah. No, that's survival only.
And you're supposed to filter that ish, bro. Nobody watch Waterworld. You gotta get the filter, bro.
Yeah. Gross.
Gotta get the filter. What we got here, man? Oh. So if you're into the Charlie Kirk shooting theories, I am now back to not believing lapel blew up or like shot a little tiny bullet theory. But I still, okay. So if a 30-06 goes in, does it make a tiny little hole like it did in Charlie's neck? Because it might make a tiny hole on entry, but then exit would likely be blown out.
Yeah, generally exit's always bigger than entry.
So I don't know if I don't know who's into this shit, man, but real quick, I'll give you the TLDR of this video. If you're into it, it's an hour long, and this is a guy you should 100% follow to fix your news feed or your YouTube feed. Build a better news feed, folks. Peak Prosperity. So Peak Prosperity on YouTube. This guy's dope AF. He broke down the whole Butler shooting thing and everything, and I've been watching him for years. So he just broke down the Charlie Kirk one, bro, and very, very interesting findings. But long story short, he claims that from the angle of everything, it was at a 10-degree angle, estimating that this was where that hole was created, right? And that it'd be almost impossible for a bullet that does this to ballistic gel to not do that to the back of Charlie's neck. Even if it hit a magical, like his friend and mentor said, that drove the poor man to the hospital where they were trying to save his life. He said that, the bullet bounced off of Charlie's super strong bones. Okay, but I love God. I love Jesus Christ, but I don't believe there's a man in the sky. Some people believe there's a man in the sky, and it feels childish to me. It's not a dig on religion or what you believe in. I don't believe there's some two-armed, two-legged thing up in the sky being like, I'm the God, sending these things down.
Right, yeah.
So it's difficult.
Not how they depict it in Family Guy.
So it's difficult for me to believe that this man had Superman bones where a 30-6 was going to come in at a slight upward trajectory at a 10-degree angle off of his central face. And then it was going to hit a bone and deflect downward into the body like we're hearing. Allegedly, there was an autopsy, even though we got reports of now somebody has also said they talked to an official and they have the recording that there is no autopsy. So there's a little bit of like weird shit there, which would sound very JFK and MLK, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were all kind of like mixed up in weird kind of autopsies.
Or Thomas Crooks.
You're right. Immediately cremated, right? No autopsy. Yeah. Fake. They just said like, dead. And then what's interesting, folks, is to make that a conspiracy theory, you only have to pay off two people. All you got to do is pay off like the county sheriff and the coroner, right? I think it's like two people that just need to be threatened or paid off. Threatened and paid off and or paid off, right? And boom, done. Boom, done. It's a conspiracy theory, right? There's a theory of conspiracy. So here, it's wildly difficult for me to believe that kind of a shot, the 30-6, that's not the thickness of a neck. You're telling me the bullet went in, and before it did the big cloud thing of the sonic boom activity of the sound and the bullet speed, right? That's what that is, right?
It's basically like the compression of just all the gases and matter and whatnot. Yeah.
Right? So before that happened, it hit a magically strong bone in a human's body and then deflected down into his body to where allegedly the autopsy said it was. However, we haven't gotten released the bullet fragments, how many fragments there were, what material the fragments were. Did we have any of the copper covering of the bullet?
Right, wasn't an armor piercing round. Like,
did we have any of that? So they're not releasing anything. So Mr. Peak Prosperity here does his best with the information, but also watching all of these ballistics that he goes over, almost every single 30-6 like type of bullet and type of gun, almost every single one, that bullet travels all the way into the second ballistics gel.
I have a feeling Brandon Herrera and all those gun tube channels are going to.
They haven't done one yet.
Like just like they did with the whole Donald Trump and
Butler one, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to do the same thing. They're going to buy a ballistic dummy that actually has bones in it instead of the gel. Try to recreate it.
So I watched a few.
If they can make
they've already
something
done,
happen. Yeah,
just not the big, huge ones yet.
Yeah.
So they've taken a head human thing, shoot the neck, the whole thing blows out, dude.
That's what I'm pretty sure would happen.
That's what every gun bro is saying, bro. 30-6, homie, is not going to go.
30-6 delivers a lot of energy.
Not going to happen, folks. So the theory right now, man, the bury the lead here is this man believes right now there was an alternative shooter. Tyler did not even get a shot off, and he's the patsy man, and he's the one that was sacrificed to the put the blame on distraction.
Yeah.
And then when we get to the quick end here, I'll show you the angle that he believes this real shooter was from that actually lines up with the bullet. And then he even goes with let's believe that the bullet went in. Well, that actually would line up with all these other things that say there was another shooter, and it could have maybe at that trajectory of maybe ricocheted off a bone and went down in.
Here's a wild thing for you too. Since you're seeing a lot more like still pictures, did you know also that like expansion you see in that ballistics gel?
Mm-hmm.
Generally, what also happens in that compression of the gases and everything is happening so fast that it actually creates a little spark in there, and it
I got it for you.
Makes a little explosion in there too.
Yep, I got that.
So you are aware. Okay, so yeah, there's like no way.
Watch.
The neck stays together.
Right, there's like no way.
Because yeah, it looks like it only expanded that much, but in the real moment of fragment of time when that's passing through there, it's like double the size of that block. The whole block just expands like crazy.
And because it's like rubbery, it goes weird.
Jello,
yeah.
Like a kid's toy, man.
So the ballistics gel is a little bit not the greatest. So they make
that's why I was saying I'm
human
sure they're
dummy
gonna
gels.
do it, with those to get a better figuring of what actually could have happened.
And so they make dummy human gels that are supposed to be more realistic in the heads that I've seen that they tested it out on, bro.
They put like bone material type stuff in there and all that. So definitely would be a much cooler test.
So, bro, he pulls up all these gun bros that are just, it's not even like for the Charlie thing. He just pulls up these as examples.
Right.
Like, here's the thing you're explaining.
Yeah.
This is exactly what Dan was trying to explain. This is actually what happens, homie.
Yeah. Like, so if he really got shot, because they have.
Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you see the spark.
Yeah, the little explosion.
That's the thing you were talking about?
Yeah.
Right there.
Yep. Bam.
That's insane.
All those gases and oxygen compress enough to where they have nothing left to do except
Great
ignite.
point to be made, my sir. That was right here in the vidya.
That would if it went in from the front in the neck right there, yeah, basically his head and neck would have separated off his body, like off to his right.
And so now, hey, we totally, we love Charlie Kirk here and stuff, and this, hurts me, and it's not the greatest stuff to go over, but we do have an explanation also of the lapel mic, and so it's not, the most fun thing to watch here, and it sucks, but he explains that it's cavitation, and so when something gets shot, animal, human, the gases, when they go in there and they, the gel expands crazy, the body does do that. And so they go frame by frame. And when it makes the lapel mic look like it blows up, or maybe it does, his theory right now, going a little bit with, I believe, the main story, is that when that bullet went in there, the cavitation blew up his whole body. And so his whole shirt puffs out because his body was puffing out.
Yeah.
And that's why it looks like the lapel mic did something.
Yeah, your skin being the plastic bag kept all the gases in and is stretchy like that ballistic gel. All the gases on the inside are expanding. That's why it's not when in the movies you see somebody get shot and they just drop to the ground. You're
and
like,
then they turn around and they're like,
dang, man,
like John Wick.
Yeah.
Everybody flies back and spins.
Yeah, it's because you're getting punched with thunder and lightning pretty much to your whole nervous and inside systems. Everything's just getting ripped apart on the inside. So it might not look, you might look pretty intact on the outside, but your inside your skin suit, your organs are blended.
Yes, very unfortunate. And then so he continues with current story, mainstream story is saying that if this is where the bullet hole is, and if it's coming in at this 10 degree trajectory, bullets do all, so everybody says, bullets do all sorts of crazy stuff when, they I've hit a buck and oh boy, the bullet did this or that or that or this.
There's an almost unlimited amount of deflection possibility.
So, okay, sure. However, just simpleton looking at it, and we're not professionals. This man is. He's a gun bro. He's also broken down assassinations before. His lining up of this, bro. So maybe he's pushing around misinformation. I don't know, man. Let's all do the research if you're into this. But he's showing that this bullet trajectory wouldn't go and hit his spine and kill him instantaneously like the official story is saying. Now, maybe it could have been hits a nerve, bleed out instantaneously, but they're saying it like hit a like spine thing that's what like took him out immediately.
Well, I think there was
no
I
keeping
think
him
the
alive.
cavitation would be enough to which is what basically did the spine thing. That much pressure just in the body, especially around your spinal cord area, it's just going to put pressure. It's just like, a submarine at the bottom of the ocean. It doesn't matter where you are at the bottom of the ocean, the pressure's there, and then you're going to get squished.
Man, this sucks. But yeah, his whole body goes back up, bro. From that cavitation. Absolutely bonkers. So then he goes into it, bro, and it's like, show me one of these bullets that shoots and goes down. So an AK-47 is the only one?
Like that's... I want to know how much experimentation they really have done to be able to have that type of data.
And then if you notice, they all only do it after the initial already like 4 to 6 inches that a neck is.
Yeah.
Like your neck is like 6 inches, right? They only change trajectory on their own of going into something. Like if you look in the ballistics
his was
gel,
probably 8 to 10 since he was a 6'5" dude. Yeah,
he wasn't like swole, he was pretty skinny, right?
He was pretty average build, I'd say.
So it's very difficult to believe that a 30-06 that most closely would probably be down to what, this M14 bullet down here, right?
Yeah.
It's very difficult to believe that not only did it not blow the back of his neck out, but then also it magically hits a magically strong bone and magically goes downward instead of, it's an upward, it's up to down angle from an up to down angle, but man, that's what I was just saying. So microphone theory, I threw that out, bro, because we just explained it with the cavitation. That was the whole point of the cavitation. So microphone theory, I personally believe is a little bit too speculative and conspiratorial. I'm still open to it, but what's nuts is for lapel microphone theory to work, this has to be some kind of a projectile that shoots into him. And then the lapel theory, people are saying that the hole we saw in his neck is an exit wound.
Right.
And that the guy that pulls on his shirt, he did coincidentally pull on his shirt at the exact moment the bullet shot. So that's what I find difficult to just gloss over.
Right. There's all sorts of weird synchronicities. Yes.
And so we showed the video last week, but the lapel theory bullet is also the man that pulls his arm, goes around to the right, another man turns around, jumps over the table. It looks like we're making this up in our head. It looks like he puts something in his back pocket, goes and acts like he's going to check Charlie, but he doesn't, runs around to the other side and meets brown shirt guy that we theorize activated the lapel mic bullet thing, explosive. That man hands the other guy something, to which he puts the second thing in his pocket and then runs off to the back out of scene, where brown shirt guy stays to look like, I'm concerned. Now there are speculative theories being thrown around that his security detail that was contracted was an Israeli security detail. So people are just saying, oh, they are Israeli. That means Israelis did it. Or, the world's more complicated than you think. And someone like maybe the Qataris wanted to make it look like it was an Israeli security detail to try and make everybody think it was Jewish people and Israelis. And now there's all too many theories, and it makes everybody get all spun out and want to check out and not even care about any of it.
Yeah.
Which I feel is part of the psyop. In some of these theories, folks, we got to know which ones to kind of, okay, I'm going to listen, but don't get too upset about it. Don't get too aggravated when it finds out that maybe it's not true, and don't check out, because some of them are psyops, bro. Some of them are our own deep state CIA ops, our CIA or our FBI ops. Some of them are nation state psyops to try and get us all frustrated and spun out, so we check out and we don't want to do anything anymore. We don't want to pay attention to politics. We don't want to go out and, fight for our freedoms, So try not to get burnt out on it, man.
Like also the lapel theory, I don't think there was really any smoke. Like there wasn't much dust or smoke at all after he got hit, which for that to be able to launch the projectile, there'd have to be some sort of detonation.
Most likely. Unless it's using alien physics.
Like some sort of super crazy, you know, maybe it was a rail gun lapel mic, like it had, you know.
Unlikely.
Yeah. Either way, it probably would have then sparked the shirt on fire, left like burned char marks because of a bright white shirt. Also,
that as well, duh. That's a good one.
That exploding over the top of the skin would instrument in automatic bleeding right away. And in the frames, you see blood come out the neck. There's no blood color on shirt yet, even by the time he falls off the chair. So I mean, how fast would that happen? I would think it'd be pretty instantaneous. It might not be if they have a good angle of it going in, if it was like a assassination device, because as we know, the Israelis are very good with assassination devices.
So everyone said first pagers.
The pagers back in the day, then the cell phones. Yeah, you replace a quarter of the battery with a tiny little bit of C4. Phone weighs the same, looks the same, acts the same until you get a phone call from a specific number, and then it actually triggers they are stupid good at making things look well, I wouldn't even say accidental, because what's accidental about a cell phone just blowing up and taking your head clean off? There's nothing.
That one's not subtle.
The cell phones don't. No, dude, that's no accident.
They're good at espionage.
They're being sneaky and untraceable.
Yeah.
And undetectable on what's a threat. That's the thing, being undetectable of what the threat is in the current moment. So like, but yeah, so I don't really think the lapel adds up very much. But you know, another thing to go with the Jew thing, have you seen the that conspiracy with how it would have been the Jews and all the numerics around things that?
Well, it's the 9/11 day, bro. 9/11 was already like something Jewish holiday or connected to paganism.
That movie of where like a Charlie Kirkland or something got assassinated. It's like the exact same thing as this.
Yep. It was an old like Nicolas Cage movie or something.
Oh, Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes. That's what it was. Yeah, there's that weird bit to it. I had another point.
That seems like us just collecting dots kind of thingy. It's like
just so darn coincidental. The shooter in the movie was a Tyler something, and also there was like an ad in the movie that it was saying the executioner on 9/10 and a different date. I don't think it was 25, obviously.
That's when we also got to double check that people didn't get.
Dude, there's way too many synchronicities here happening.
That's one that we do got to double check, because some people be just going a little bit, you know.
And so then the other, that's what I was going to say. So did you notice where he was speaking at?
Mm-hmm.
The structure, the seating in the grass and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
If you do an above view at the angle, it basically makes the Jewish, what's it called?
Menorah.
With all the different candles in it. It's like, oh man, come on, dude. Like, are these all just coincidental weird things, or are they really out here just like using nerds as super slaves? Like, crack the code, nerd. Tell me where these numbers are gonna show up next. And then they're just out here playing like magic with numbers, and that's really how the whole 369 thing works. And it's all literally just numbers. And as long as you have control of a couple Einsteins, you just control the world and can foretell the future and write your script and make it all.
That's how the orb works.
Allegedly.
So we have
Don't ban us for misinformation, TikTok.
Yeah, we're not even TikToking today. We have the alleged recording where the guy says there was no autopsy.
And we see a picture of that bullet. What did it weigh? We will know a lot of things at that point in time, but they're going to, of course, withhold all of that evidence from us just because. By the way, we did just get this morning and heard this.
So I did do the request. They emailed me back. He did not go in for an autopsy. The death certificate was signed by the doctor at the hospital.
What?
Oh, okay. Can you?
What?
He did not go in for an autopsy. The death certificate was signed by the doctor at the hospital.
What?
Can you just do a?
That's the dispatcher, Utah dispatcher. I don't know if this is accurate or not, but so now we have a conflict here. Did he go in? Was there a coroner? Coroner would typically be the person conducting an inquest. By law in Utah, you have to conduct an autopsy in a murder. They said maybe the dispatcher had it wrong. I certainly hope this is an error. Obviously, when you have one of the most significant political assassinations of your lifetime, you conduct an autopsy. If they didn't, yellow flags, red flags are going to go up.
100%, because then where did we get the bullets in the body statement? So hopefully that one was just wrong. So now let's get to the point here. So
I haven't seen a protractor since high school. God dang.
Another one you never effing use unless you become a construction guy, which they'll probably teach you how to use it correctly on the job.
Or if you're this guy on YouTube, you end up using a protractor.
So this is the working theory, is there was something weird going on over there, bro. Watch this.
Caused a lot of mechanical damage.
So if it was coming from this more 43-degree angle as opposed to a 10, that a 10 would miss the spine, this 43-degree angle would actually go directly at the spine. Now watch these two guys in the crowd and tell me what you think's going on here.
As well as obviously all the neuronal damage and all that other stuff. So this fits very, very well with this. We need a new shooting angle that can account for what we're seeing. Now, what's interesting is there was this great video taken from the side. Thank you to the person who sent that to me. I got it off your Google Drive. Really appreciate it. High quality. I trust this video a lot. This one was off to the side. Charlie's left. If Charlie's facing forward, stage left. They're over here. They're facing this way. This is the promontory. This is that other video camera we're looking at. But this is about 2 seconds, maybe 3 seconds after the shot has been taken. Look at this guy. I know eyewitnesses can be a little iffy, but this guy is pointing, and he's pointing right along the axis, more or less, of this promontory axis, right? It has a face. He's pointing along. And hey, look at this guy. We got cowboy hat guy here too. Yep. They're both sitting here looking in a certain direction. If I place this guy, he's sitting right about at the top. These are all these tiers of concrete and grass and concrete and grass, concrete and grass. This guy is just off of the promontory prow. And
what do y'all think about this in the chat, man? What do you think here?
He's just a little bit off this side of it, and that places him. There's the promontory prow. There he is right there. He's pointing here. He's pointing somewhere up on this building. He's not pointing this way, which is where the alleged shooter would have been. He's clearly not pointing that way. He's pointing here.
Because in the picture of where he's standing, bro, he'd be pointing more towards that building. I mean, I know angles are tricky to get, right? But this is where that camera is, right behind the man that we just saw, right? This camera right here.
Oh, that's a camera up there?
That's right here, okay? So what angle is that guy pointing?
Place this guy. He's sitting right about at the top. These are all these tiers of concrete and grass and concrete and grass, concrete and grass. This guy is just off of the promontory prow, and he's just a little bit off
he's pointing back
this side of it. And that places him.
Yeah, definitely.
There's the promontory prow.
I'd say more like the bottom of that green highlighted area.
Towards here?
Yeah.
Right.
He's pointing here.
Down, probably.
He's pointing somewhere up on this building. He's not pointing this way, which is where the alleged shooter would have been. He's clearly not pointing that way. He's pointing here. And cowboy hat guy is like doing the same thing. He's like, they're both looking at the same spot. I would want to talk to red shirt guy if I was investigating this. Red shirt guy would, I think, have some of the most most of these people, a lot of, pandemonium and screaming and usual stuff going on. But this guy, he just stands up, hands in his pocket, and he's like, right there.
Like, why are both of them wearing red shirts too? Just more coincidence they're both wearing red.
Sure.
So maybe that's meaningful. Maybe
you'd be a horrible investigator. Did you get any new updates this week? I've been stuck on this one thing. I've been trying to.
Like, every other aspect matches up, but the color of his shirt, I can't figure it out. It's the last piece of the puzzle. It probably has absolutely nothing to do with it, but I have to figure it out.
Because look at can you tell where the line in the concrete of sitting is? Okay.
Right.
So the line of concrete is perpendicular to this back, like the back wall.
Yeah.
Where the camera is right here on the peak. Okay. Camera's on the peak.
Yep.
back wall is parallel, okay? Is the man pointing parallel with the concrete? Concrete, all we can see is down here, which is going in this area, not backwards. I feel like he would be pointing more back and his arm would be shorter at this angle. But
yeah, I think it looks like he's basically pointing in line with those concrete lines.
Difficult, bro. Which is why he's got it lined up like that, bro.
Yeah.
So our camera's like over here, and we're looking at it like this, or some shit, right? Like the camera of that view, like over here somewhere, right?
Yeah. It would have been a great spot because if he can fish it through the trees there, the trees block any anybody seeing him at the position.
Shooter.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's absolutely bonkers, folks. And then they were trying to say there's different guns in the stories. So they said it was an antique, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They said it was like an antique, something that would shoot a 30-06, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then the picture of it looks like it's nylon. So it looks like it's a modern gun.
Well, they can update the like Mosin Nagants are they're all wood stock, World War I, II guns.
Right.
But they make kits where you can modern stock it and then put like a more modern day resin stock on it like that.
So I can't remember if he went over it
look like that
in this video or it was another one I was watching. But how do you take apart that gun? What tools?
It's not like crazy tools at all. Generally, they made them pretty simplistic so you could take them down on the battlefield if you absolutely had to with minimal tools.
And how long would that take? Because it don't take apart like an AR.
Yeah, no, definitely ain't that fast. No.
AR takes like 3 seconds, and you can use the bullet itself to pop the pins to take it all apart.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Or
this gun, you need like a small like Allen type.
Yeah, you'll need at least a screwdriver.
You need like a screwdriver or an Allen type thingy, and you got to unscrew something. How long does it take you to unscrew something? And so allegedly in 3 seconds, this dude was bolting, took apart gun, but then reassembled it for the gun to be shown up and people found it.
I've cracked the mystery, guys. You ready for it? Our murderer is Inspector Gadget. He whipped out his pocket screwdriver.
Oh, it's his finger.
Yeah.
This is a little goofy. Do you remember this? So on September 12th, the FBI released the rooftop video. Now we're going to start to catch some of the yellow flags that bother me a little bit. And this ties in.
This is FBI video, right? We know how good FBI video is, like the Epstein video, right?
Yeah, no breaks.
Totally not altered. Yeah, not altered. Are you ready for this shit? Are you ready? This is why I'm like, bruh.
I'm not Patrick Star ready, but I'm as ready as I'm gonna be.
The putative place where I'm expecting that we should be looking, because this is the building that the shooter was on allegedly. Here's the promontory prow is going to be right there, but the building we would be interested in would be right through. There's windows here. This is a whole like window through and through, windows all the way around. Just on the other side of that, we'd be interested to know who was on that building over there, right at the top where that finger's pointing, because that's where I would suspect the shooter would have been. But this is weird. So they released this rooftop video. A couple weird things about it. First, why didn't they give us the whole thing? Why didn't they show him climbing up on the roof? This camera would have caught that. Why don't they show him taking the shot? The camera would have caught that. They didn't show us that. What did they show us? They showed us this. They zoom in, and again, the building we're interested in is right back here through these things. But this is also after the shooting, because he's already running. You can see him running right there. Comes around the side of the building, runs across.
Ready for the
it looks like it's shot with a potato cam again. I don't know. And there he is. And there's this weird purpley roof haze over here. I don't know what's going on with that. He's swinging down now. Allegedly, where's the rifle? We don't know. He's got something in his hands, but it's sort of floppy. We don't know. It's a lot of weird stuff going on here. Okay. So what's so weird about this? Well, A, they didn't show us all the earlier stuff. It gets even weirder than that. Watch this. Somebody sharp-eyed caught this and said, at Dogs versus World, check this out. Watch the shadow. Where's his shadow?
What
happened to the shadow?
It looked weird when he went on to that white bit of
shadow,
roof.
shadow, blip, a little blip. Where's the shadow?
It looked like
he's
one of
he's
those,
running on white stuff.
It looked
Should
like
be
one
a
of those
stronger shadow.
meme
Watch this little blip on the white stuff. Blip.
Oop.
Where's the shadow?
F-bombs.
So they released an edited video. And look, watch here. See all those? We can see him running past through those windows. I told you there were windows through and through. Look, they just go, look. What is going on here?
Oh, cameras do weird things.
Why are we getting poorly edited videos? Look, there's a pedestrian over here that just they just disappear. And you can see all of this in the video that the FBI released. These are all
I seen him as the guy was jumping down. I was going to say, did that guy not hear or notice anything? Can we get that guy as a witness?
Well, they disappeared. Well, he went into Narnia.
If we want to know, maybe there's some weird entrance over there that's hidden by the tree a little bit.
He turned at a right degree angle and went into right behind the tree.
I'm just steel man as much as I could steal, Okay, so here's how you do some cool investigative work. Has anybody talked to the guy in red yet? If not, why not? And if you're like, oh, how do you track down that guy? Easy. You put it on the national news. Every single main channel. Hey, so the FBI, since we're a national organization, we can tell all these news agencies to run this and say, hey, we're looking if you're the guy that was wearing, because that guy will know who he is if he was the red shirt guy. If he sees the thing oh yeah, that was me in the crowd. We want you to contact us because we want to question you. Oh, that's cool. I was wondering why y'all weren't questioning me so far. Thought I didn't know how to contact you, even though you can just call the feds to give them a tip. So I don't know if he's given any info yet, because if they haven't or they're wondering, just put it on the national news. Say, hey, the feds are looking to talk to you. Or, even better, you know how you be transparent? You as a national news entity, put the story out there. Hey, we're looking for you. Contact us because we want to have you on. And then they see that you want, the guy sees that the news organization wants him on. He calls in. He's like, yeah, all of a sudden he does a live interview in front of her. And so then we as the people will see, oh, is this guy acting, or does he seem pretty genuine?
Right. You mean kind of like the weird overweight pizza slob looking anime watching looking guy that allegedly was the roommate allegedly the roommate of the shooter that murdered Representative Melissa.
Yeah.
And then he claimed that he was a Republican.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Not like that loser has anything on his computer that could be used as leverage to get him to say a story or nothing. So he goes through all of it, man, and he kind of just breaks it down. And then the one last one that people were saying he had bullet plating on, whether it was, regular steels or some magical new fancy expensive as balls, thin stuff. Bullet blocking plates don't let you see nipples and a cross in the t-shirt. So body armor theory, I think, gone. They were saying that it was hit the armor and then ricocheted places or something.
No, if he had any armor on, it would have been the shirt itself, and it would have been made out of a
but the theory
Kevlar
was that
blend
it
of
ricocheted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, there would be no ricocheting if that was armor t-shirt. It would just catch the bullet and actually ball up. There'd be no ricochet. The bullet would actually get stuck.
So follow Mr. Peak Prosperity. He is a banger around here, folks. We definitely like the Mr. Peak Prosperity. And if you're into this stuff, that was a great breakdown, man. Great breakdown.
But, did we bring that up at the last episode? What was going on in Congress when Charlie Kirk got shot?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
We looked it up and even verified.
For the people that weren't here, it just so happened that the day that Charlie Kirk was assassinated, they were voting on Epstein files in Congress.
Yeah, the Democrats brought it up, and then they all voted to not release them. Or postpone it, I think. It was a postpone.
But as everybody else says, it's just coincidences happen all the time, man, and they're just coincidental.
What's the one that's like first time it's a thing, second time it's a coincidence, third time it's called a trend?
Yeah, maybe I haven't heard that one. I was just thinking you were going into the fool me once, fool me twice. I can't be fooled again.
Speaking of being fooled, I'm so good at transitions. You gotta look out, folks, because the new AI is on the block. And the new AI on the block, I got worse news for you, folks. It's not even a proprietary technology that costs a lot of money. It's an open source system that you can just load right on your own computer. And, you might be waiting a while for it to crunch unless you build a mining rig, like a bunch of GPUs to crunch it faster, Yeah. But, yeah, folks, take a look at this here, man. This guy did a couple, but the most compelling or one of the most interesting is, he did the Tay-Tay one. He did the Taylor Swift, bro. And like, dude, gullible people are screwed. I just helped a woman today who came in because her dad keeps getting fooled by Instagram, like hot chicks and porn, right? Kid you not.
Poor guy.
There's a screenshot of him showing the scammers that he has multiple lots of money in his Wells Fargo. And she said he sent him all of it because he believed it was for his girlfriend, who's impersonating a famous Canadian celebrity that this man follows and loves. So his whole entire retirement is now gone, or one part of it. And I was like, this is absolutely horribly sad. And that's
happens
not,
all the time, which is just nuts.
And that's not this technology. Watch this shit, folks. Don't hide your wife, hide your kids. Help your wife, help your kids, help your parents. If you're in town, send them to me.
Keep people from getting scammed.
Oh, dude. It's a recurring theme here, man. Signup.toleratetech.com. Link in the description box down below. I'll help them out.
Reality and fiction is vanishing. And
this is not a Hollywood billion-dollar high production studio. This is open source. This is from your computer, a click of a button, and most people will not be able to even tell the difference now. So be safe out there, question what you see, verify what you believe, and follow who must stay ahead of the curve.
This is definitely better than Runway Act.
Bonkers, bro. This is the best one I've seen yet. Remember The Matrix?
Threats of a feeble human intellect trying desperately to justify an existence that is without meaning or purpose.
Dynamic motion and camera.
Yeah, you can't see it, but the top left, it's like, some chick just walking in like a carport, and somehow it made all this lighting and shadowing, like looking to be accurate of what like real shadow.
Yeah,
this is entirely AI, bro. And all it is a chick walking in like a parking garage. That's bonkers, bro. Bonkers. Bill Gates. Oh, we're gonna have to load up. But yeah, absolutely bonkers. That's the thing. Where's the Einstein one was pretty good.
To show you what this tool can do, not necessarily telling you that you should be creating deep fakes. I'm just trying to break this thing and see if it actually lives to the hype. Great, so now we have our image.
That's bonkers. That's bonkers, bro. And then he's trying to exaggerate it to test it out. If you just talk to like really relaxed, it's like, no, I just talk like this and I don't really have to open my mouth up a lot, so if you could just send me that money, sir, that would be fantastic. I'm Elon Musk and I'm going to help you, and bruh. The one I always say is my sweetheart client that keeps thinking Neil Diamond's like, gonna like do a big event with her, bruh. All you gotta do is like, AI in Neil Diamond, and like that poor lady's giving you all the money.
I swear they got an AI engine out there that's literally that the scammers have built that's just like combing everything out there, combing what your wants and needs so they know your weaknesses, and then they target you specifically. They know how exactly what'll get you in your soft spot.
Yeah, right, bro. Well,
For
what
me,
they do
just got to hit me with like, look, this kid or
Yeah.
this kitten needs like help, dude, and they'd like take all my money. They just convinced me this cat's like in utter need of help, and boom, then I'm broke, no money.
The other bonkers thing,
House,
bro,
everything gone.
if you're just not already saying enough publicly to find you outright, as soon as you get a malware app on your phone, so this guy on his phone had a malware launcher where it takes over like your whole home screen. So then every single thing you do is going through their tracker. And so everything he did, it's sending it back to the scammers, and then the scammers calling you and go, "Oh, hey, we got a really nice deal for cat food. Were you interested in this cat food deal?" And then, something, clever to like end up tricking you into like spending a bunch of money or some crap, bro. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, I got a text the other day, and they were trying. I don't know if there's ever any time of year they stop doing it. Tax time's big, but they hit you with the, oh, this is, there's just some tax things you gotta fix in your account, so you just want to call in, like, oh yeah, yeah, I don't want to, have back taxes I don't know about. That sounds really scary. I better call in and make sure I don't know anything. Right. If I do, I can get a payment plan set up.
Right. Quick before the scary government comes to get me.
Yeah. Always the fear
tactics. So back to the comedy relief, right? That was a little bit of a maybe bummer, right? Like, oh, I love AI. I use it every day for good, but the bad people will use it and it will suck. But did you see the new official Joe Biden portrait that was just a joke at first? And now
what the auto pen one?
It might be real, bro. Like, check this out. Mr. Benny Johnson, follow him, folks. Follow him on the YouTubes, Mr. Benny Johnson, a great guy, Mr. Benny Johnson. He used to work for Turning Point USA, and recently he just made a video where they went to the Oregon Ducks game where Mr. Charlie Kirk was going to go to this game, folks. And what they did, folks, they gave out 5,000 Charlie Kirk all-white Freedom t-shirts. It was a whiteout event. Everyone was wearing white, but they gave out 5,000 Charlie Kirk Freedom t-shirts. Great guy, Benny Johnson, that Benny Johnson.
That's cool.
And then we got Trump. And then we got the auto. I'm pretty sure this is really put it up there.
Yeah. Like, is it kind of like against standards of respect? This should be like with the White House. Maybe a little bit. Can't lie, it's not hilarious.
Oh man, if they did this to us, I might be livid.
He's just a king troll. Like, that's the only king he is. He's the king of trolling.
The best part is if the next president's Democrat and hates Trump and puts something snarky in there, it'll just be a copycat funny. It won't even be unique. That's all they have. All they have is trying to copycat funnies, bro.
Yeah.
They don't got nothing unique, man. Check this out. Because the left can't meme. The left can't meme. It's all right.
Yeah.
Of presidents at the White House. And, well, technically, it is technically what I voted for. The President Walk of Fame has arrived at West Wing Colonnade. Wait for it. There it is. Here, Donald Trump inspecting it himself. New at the White House, says the White House. Donald Trump with the military aid there.
He's like,
and Donald Trump just giving a little bit of an inspection to the Joe
You
Biden
see the tiny
portraiture.
smirk on his face, dude. He's like, that's not. Oh, he really did it. This freaking guy.
I'm holding his iPhone there. You can see the Trump iPhone background is the Trump face on Truth Social. Red, white, and blue flag across his face. New at the White House.
And I hung the new Joe Biden auto pen portrait and I looked at it and I said, what I hung was good.
Oh man, this dude is quite the character. A whole lot to handle.
That's ridiculous. Oh, that's so ridiculous.
We're unconventional, yeah. Do we need it because we're going into unconventional times? Yep.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Hopefully it's for the good.
I thought he was gonna hit us with the intro where they were like, Domo, Domo. The Robotos, like the remix. Auto pen. Oh man, yeah. Jimmy Kimmel is in the news, but screw that.
That's
Nothing
where I'd
useful.
seen it first, because I'd seen it already. I was trying to remember if it was with the new South Park or Jimmy Kimmel show, because I watched an episode or two after he came back to see like how he was acting. and I'm pretty sure, he covered that.
Yeah. How was he acting? Oh, feel like a douchebag.
Little bit, but also you could tell he was definitely tiptoey a little more. He was a little more tiptoey.
Sure. Well,
but definitely still on the guys. Come on, remember, I'm back on. So who do we not like? That's right. I ain't gonna say it, but we all know it.
Wait, are you ready for the transition? Do you know who's not tiptoeing?
Never.
The Border Homeland Security Department is not tiptoeing because what they like making, folks, are banger social media videos. In this one, we got Mr. Theo Von. We don't know if he's like actually upset, but he did comment and said, "Hey, Department of Homeland Security, send me a check, bro."
Send him a check.
Elves.
Oh,
you got deported, dude.
It says 2 million in 250 days. It says it's calculating the number very slowly. 1.6 million self-deported and 400,000 deportations. Interesting. That's 2 million.
They simply stopped coming. They're not coming anymore. We're getting a lot of credit, but they're not coming anymore.
They're not gonna come.
Leave now. So the video says. Well, Theo Von posted, "Yo, DHS. I didn't approve to be using this. I know you know my address, so send a check and please take this down. And please keep me out of your banger deportation videos. When it comes to immigration, my thoughts and heart are a lot more nuanced than this video allows. Bye." Sure, what did he say then? Let's see.
But he said it, though. And then also, it is like public fair game, fair use, so he just decided to like say that for some reason because like they don't have to take it. Probably just because he's getting heat from the libtards and he saw all the libtards are going around murdering people.
Or he's just trying to get paid.
Like, bro, I don't want to be murdered.
Come on, man. Only because I'm here, you were able to make that video. Come on, cut me a little check. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been able to make that banger video.
Absolutely hilarious. The other one that was a little ridiculous, bro, is they started using the Pokemon. They started using the Pokemon franchise.
Oh, dude, they are. Whoever is running that department is a younger, like, super troll. They're a super troll, man.
He a 35-year-old super troll, bro, dude. He's making banger social media content for these guys, bro. So they had one where it was like, gotta get them on.
Seriously? Pokemon is a show where children capture animals and make them fight each other. You know, I never really thought about that when I was a little kid. But it's basically just anime dog fighting. It's like
Tim Pool even called it out like, come on, man, this is ridiculous. Don't ruin my childhood cartoon for me. That's what
but
he's
then it also is like, wait, I never thought about it. It actually is like cartoon dog fighting. That's a little ridiculous.
Yeah,
We're catching these animals and then forcing them to fight to the death.
Yep. That's why.
That's hilarious.
Come on,
They say,
Tim, grab a handkerchief, blow your nose, get over it.
You don't understand. The Pokemon are trying to be the best, and they like to fight because it's fun. It's like boxing. And I'm like, yeah, if that were the case, they'd fight in the wild, which they usually don't in the show. And more importantly, they wouldn't resist being captured by you.
I want to be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test. To train them.
I don't want to laugh this much at like arresting criminals, but it's banger. And then
What do you mean they're criminals?
Makes me laugh.
And then now they have made it trolly?
Like I'm
great.
I'm more liberal where I'm like, we should take them all down, but we shouldn't make fun of it. It is their humans and something a little bit human thingy.
You know what?
Like
Compared to other parts of the world, this is really nice. We're making fun of them instead of like chopping their, things off for R-wording women or, chopping their hands off because they stole stuff.
Right.
No, we're just making fun of them. We're just bullying. We're bringing bullying back and making it great again. We're bullying you into the profile of character we want you to be.
Now, not toxic bullying that leads to, kids maybe harming themselves or, being really effed up in the world. But I do believe bullying helps.
Normal and abide the law and be a great human father specimen to the human race.
Yeah, not ridiculous bullying, but bullying does make CEOs.
It's cringe. I'm sorry. I will travel across the land, searching far and wide. Each Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. Here's my recommendation, guys. You could have used AI very easily to change the lyrics. I'm not even playing. I bet I could do this right now in real time as I record. I don't feel like doing it. With Suno, you know what? I'm gonna fix this for them. I will. Pokemon theme song. But you can may say it's copyrighted, but if it doesn't, it'll translate all the lyrics for you, and then you can change it so it's like DHS. Gotta catch them all. You know what I mean? Like you don't have. I never knew what that lyric was, and no one forguessed as me. What are they saying? Oh, there's. Child endangerment, a sexual predator.
They got him on
that was the last of them, right? Harun Noreen Ramkisoon, convicted of attempted murder in Queens, New York, sentenced to 15 years in prison.
This is why it's
child
okay
molestation,
to laugh. They're murderers,
okay, we get it.
man.
The worst
They're
of the worst.
bad people.
Yeah,
And that being said, the lyrics to this song I don't quite understand. Like, you're my best friend in a world we must defend. Like, defend from what? Team Rocket, I guess. Well, anyway, I guess the left is all butthurt about it. They go on to mention that Reach for Comment, the Pokemon company, provided Polygon with the following statement. We are aware.
Is all butthurt about it. That was a great transition right there.
And he's lefty, so like when he takes like the test, like the what side am I on? He's like a quarter to a halfway into the left, bro. But then he's pro-Trump and conservatism, and they're all death threatening him because he's pushing, logical thinking and like, anti-deep statey, bullshitty, lying mainstream media babadoo. But when he takes the test, he's like full liberal, full lefty.
Yeah.
So you can be liberal and conservative all at the same time. It's almost like balance. When I did my like Twitter test before I started getting really sick of hearing baloney from the other side, it was like 60% right, 40% left. But now that I've just like lived on X and crushed my feed, it's like 90%. Because I'm like, I don't want to see that. Please don't show me that crap. All right. I don't want to see that menu. Not interested. All right. I don't want to see that crap menu. Not interested.
You're pro-biasing your account.
I used to be like, I can't even handle it now. So I was like, nope, I'm good. And then all my guys will show us what the lefties are talking about. So I'm good with that. That's how I'll get my fill. That's how I'll get my fill, man. And then if I ever need to understand how the lefties work, I just debate Google Gemini. That's what I did an hour the other night. To which my girlfriend kept looking at me on a roller coaster of, stop doing it, you idiot. Stop wasting the time. Spend time with me.
What is the point of what you're doing, idiot?
And then was like, dang, that's a good point you hit it with. Or, wow, that's a wild response it gave. That sounds exactly like a radical lefty. That's exactly how they argue. Like you pointed out this, you pointed out that, and then it circled back around and just repeated itself into the lie. And I said, yeah, but you just said that lie, and then I proved that it was wrong because of da-da-da-da-da. And it went, yeah, no, you're right. That is completely a lie, and you're 100% true. And I said, okay, so give me one example of the Republicans using divisive rhetoric. It said, okay, well, Ted Cruz said that, the Democrats were the party of the Ku Klux Klan. And I said, didn't the Democrats start the Ku Klux Klan? Well, yeah, they did, but some people may perceive that statement from Ted Cruz as, divisive and upsetting. And I said, okay, so facts don't care about your feelings, right? So it is factual based, right? It's 100% accurate. Well, yeah, it's accurate. Okay, cool. So, give me another example. Well, Trump said that El Salvador, Haiti, and that other one that I don't remember were shithole countries. And I said, okay, so are they very prosperous countries? Well, no, they're not. And I said, okay, so if a country was not prosperous and it had a bunch of crime and no one wanted to live there and everybody moved out of El Salvador, wouldn't it be a shithole country? Well, you can't say that it's a shithole country just because there's crime. There's crime everywhere. Okay, didn't President Bukele come in and then make a prison and then rounded up all of the criminals and then put them in the prison? And then now people are moving back to El Salvador, which would then have proven, if it's better now, it was a shithole country when Donald Trump said it. Well, everybody...
We just can't use those words. Those are mean words.
People feel that when Donald Trump said that, he was calling the people bad names too. Okay, so did Donald Trump say the people in these countries are shitheads? No, he said the country are shithole countries. Well, yeah, you're right about that. I said, give me another Republican example of divisive rhetoric. I can't find anything anymore. And I said, bro, it's just like a real debate with a libtard. The real debate with a libtard is at first they'll character attack you and call you names or try to break your character down. Then when you prove that to them,
you're just a racist. Number one.
When you prove that to them, that they just went to character attack instead of debating like real things, right? Then they'll try and gaslight you and say, no, I didn't call you any names. I didn't character attack you. Then when you point out they're gaslighting you, they'll try to uno reverso that shit and say, no, you did. So now they projection. So now they go, no, you called me names. And then you go, no, I didn't at all. And when you prove those three things to them, the fourth thing they do, I don't want to talk about this. Right. I gotta go. I don't have the time. This is, you're just, I gotta,
I forgot I got a turkey in the oven and it's the middle of July. I gotta get out of here.
Bro, it literally did the 4 steps of debating a person that is absolutely a bigot. It's hilarious. So then I said, all right, cool. So now that we don't have any divisive rhetoric on the right, you can't find any. All right. So maybe there is, but the magical AI box could not find any. I then said, okay, cool. So now that we've proven that all of the divisive rhetoric is on the left and not on the right, tell me, why did the 2024 election have the largest shift to the right in almost every single county in the entire thing? The map was blood red on the shifts of counties. We watched that. We pulled that up before, right? I said, so if you're telling me that the right has divisive rhetoric, then how is it possible that 2025 had the largest shift to the right? Yeah, that's it probably means that it's not true. And I said, so then what would that mean if divisive rhetoric was not true, but the rhetoric, the facts that hurt the left's feelings caused a complete shift to the right? What would you call that? Well, it'd be unifying rhetoric. And I said, precisely. The right, which is actually founded on a bunch of Democrats, we say this all the time, Donald Trump, Elon Musk, RFK, Babadoo, right? Tulsi Gabbard, a lot of Democrats, right? So if the right's rhetoric is founded on saying truthful things, but they hurt feelings, but it unified the country. Now, yeah, it's half and half, and it was a alleged, close one, right? If that's all unifying, then that means that the left's divisive rhetoric is because of lying. Tell truth, unify, tell lie, divide. Boom, done. And then the robot just started looping again and was like, well, the right, there's a lot of articles that say the right says divisive rhetoric.
Okay, yeah, a lot of articles.
Right.
Are any of those articles factual?
So I kept saying like, nah, dude, this is why you're programmed by the left, liberal, radical leftists, and you are citing the lefty, liberal, deep state media and then telling me that that is fact. And the whole thing started when I said, hey, tell me about the 274 undercover agents that just got totally proven to be at J6. Well, they weren't proven. You see, the post was from Donald Trump, and it was citing a right-leaning News Association. I said, what has that got to do with anything?
Yeah.
And then that's when it said, well, the right has divisive rhetoric, so I got to tell you that it's a right-leaning organization. I said, tell me facts about the article. I didn't ask you for a bibliography.
Yeah. Yeah, just tell me what's really in the article. Yeah.
And then when it looped back around, I'd keep arguing, and that's when my girl's like, bruh, come on, man. It's like my brain's rotting over here. Like,
the AI was in remorse that it had met Scott that day.
And then I say, you know why I do this? You know why I like to debate the lefty programmed AI? Hone my skill. Become ready. I've got Damascus debatable topics here, dog. This ain't no Chinese steel. Ain't no American steel.
Real samurai.
Japanese Damascus arguments here, folks. Oh, we gotta start
Only
a debate show, bro. We gotta do a debate show like Charlie Kirk, but it's all remote, so safety first.
Right, yeah. Yeah, do it on Omegle or something.
Because I got done blowing an hour talking to this thing, and my girl's like, so you just haven't been able to argue with anyone in a while? Is that what it is? I was like, I think you're right. You've completely diagnosed it. You're correct as usual.
Yeah, I hadn't got my normal arguing out there in a while. Itching.
Was itching, man. I was itching. I can't lie, bro. Can't lie.
South Park, Cartman playing Charlie Kirk. He was the master debater.
Yeah. That's another low-hanging fruit. South Park sucks.
Oh,
PP jokes on Trump, dude.
Recently,
PP
yeah,
jokes on Trump.
You could tell.
You could have come up with a million ways to make fun of Trump, bro. And then we would have even found them funny.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
We make fun of Trump all the time, right?
Yeah, he's definitely not. He does a lot of silly shit. You know, he's got his Trump shticks that he does.
Stupid, in my opinion, bro.
Like, we all got our own little thing that we think is kind of a thing, but it's wacky to most other people.
And then master debater, like, bruh.
I mean, I don't know how they could have, like, if I would have thought that one up, I don't know if I could have left that one in the ideas bin and not used it. That's pretty.
What do you mean if you would have thought that up, bro? If you're a writer and your job is to make up writing for this thing, you'd be fired if you didn't come up with that one. That's low-hanging fruit.
I think there's some other ones. But,
and then if you used it and I was in charge, I'd fire you. Because I'd be like, bro, you didn't come up with nothing better. My 4-year-old would have came up with that one. This show's not made for children. Oh, wait, it's man children. Okay, I understand.
It's about children.
I don't have a segue for this one. So going to brother Andy Frisella, he had a great short that I thought I would just run by you here, because if you're not familiar, Andy Frisella is a goat. I'm not 100% sure what he's the goat of, but talking real shit, I think, is the thing I would select.
A goat of many things.
I forgive him.
Forgiveness and justice are two different things, and they're both biblical principles. There's a lot of people that are upset that she forgave him. You don't forgive people for them. You forgive people for you. And for her to even have a life that is somewhat normal, she's going to have to not carry that around, because it's so bad and it's so brutal and it's so legitimately traumatizing that unless she did forgive him, I don't see how she could even go on with her life. It's biblical. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But that doesn't remove you from the consequences of justice. And people have to pay for what they do. And a lot of people, they read the 10 Commandments and they say, thou shalt not kill. It's not thou shalt not kill. It's thou shalt not murder. The thing that concerns me is that there still is this attitude amongst people that being passive or turning the other cheek is somehow this noble deed. We cannot become a passive society that dishes out tolerance to people that don't deserve it. The live and let live concept only works when both parties respect it, and they don't. And so my concern with seeing the reaction that we are having over the last few days, where there is all this calls for unity, those people don't want to unify with you. What do you not understand? What do you not understand? They do not want unity with people like you and I. They hate people like you and I. They want us dead. You cannot tolerate that. That is not noble. It's self-destruction.
Freaking facts, bro.
Keeping it real as usual.
Freaking
want to unify
bro.
with you.
So, dude, forgiveness, justice, two separate effing things. Bible says both of them get used, right? Forgiveness is cool, man, but people still need punishment, right? God's punished a lot of people, bro. And then my God, is that not more true, dude? You can't unify with anybody that is so completely gone that they don't want to unify. And again, I'm a big fan of Christianity, got raised in it, and I came back to like a core believings in it, but I do believe it's been manipulated by some kind of evil king, a group of kings, some tyrannical top leading people. Because if I was an evil bad guy, homie, and I wanted to neuter an entire population, I'd alter the Bible to say things like thou shalt not kill instead of thou shalt not murder.
Yep. Yeah, because a lot of people don't understand that. Like, oh, we shouldn't have war because it says that we can't kill it. No, it says don't murder. If somebody is opposing ill will on your nation, you have to defend it. Sometimes that means taking some bodies out of the equation that are oppressing you.
And then, hey, why don't we just use an easy dummy example, right? You zoom out and, God created this organism and then we're the cells. So just like body is to cancer, humans are to overarching planet, species, something organism, right?
What happened if we never got rid of Genghis Khan?
Is what ran his course continually.
Yeah, I don't believe he just lived his days and died in his old age. I believe he eventually was slaughtered on the battlefield from somebody that had to slaughter and believed in slaughtering him for the better purpose. There was the purpose. He did not murder. He killed him in the battle of war, which was on beliefs in the betterment of our society.
I think it's appalling that there's now a credible theory that we did not actually remove Hitler from the earth. That he was undercover taking down to Argentina to live out his days. That blows my mind. But back to this one. If I was going to control a population, bro, I would neuter them and make their religion 20% of it's missing, that you actually have the powers to fight the bad guys. Whether that's woo-woo spiritually with God powers that God gives to us to spiritually perform things that would be like magic or like miracle, and then also physical, man. No, you can never hurt nobody, turn the other cheek, 100% of the time. It's like 80-20, bro. I said it way too much this episode. 80-20, bro. You should turn that cheek 80% of the time. You should stand up for yourself and the others around you the other 20% of the time, because what's the next thing, bro? We're going to have liberals that are like, you can't kill the cancer cells. There's cells in your body too.
Yeah, right.
Those cancer cells are alive. Yeah, they're alive and killing you. Like Susan, like what the flip?
Yeah.
Like what the flip, bro? No, you got to stop at the cancer. You got to stop the cancer. You can't let it eat you alive. That's bonkers.
No.
And we're just letting whack-a-noodle crazy people eat us alive right
now. Yep. It's sad. Got to get back on top. Got to be top dog.
Drives me absolutely bonkers. Yeah, this was, oh man, yeah. So the other one of the many shootings that happened this week or whatever, right? We recovered the bullet. The bullet said anti-ice. The man went in and was angry. If we are to assume he was anti-ice, he listened to the radical leftists, divisive radical leftists, the snakes in the grass, the Democrats that are giving out all kinds of divisive language. And this stupid person, he's a stupid person. I don't know. People tell me this man's stupid, but he did a stupid act. He not only was anti-ICE, he went to the ICE facility and he shot people, folks. That's stupid. And now it's stupid, one thing, to go in and try and kill ICE people, but this man couldn't even commit the job. He killed no ICE agents, folks, but instead actually killed a criminal alien.
Wounded two others.
He actually did what we're not trying to do here at ICE, folks. He did murder. We don't murder people at ICE, folks. We deport. We are Number one, we're actually doing great. Our numbers are great. The numbers are fantastic right now. In deportations, they tell me the numbers are great, but
we hear Theo Von's a slight bit feeling the other way, but that's among things.
Right now we have, what were the numbers earlier? It was 1.6 million self-deportations and 400,000. We're at 2 million deportations and 0 murders, folks. Now, maybe we're fudging the numbers. I don't know. I don't work there, but maybe they're lying to me. But now the radical leftists have actually killed more criminal aliens than Trump or the ICE agents have, folks. This is absolutely bonkers.
So it's stupid. It's stupid. Whatever was going through that person's head. We all need to be better Americans and better in our communities and point things out, ask questions when it seems like somebody's not doing well. All gotta be better as a constructed society. We're all together.
The other bonkers thing is that we're going to have 9 out of 10 leftists murderers. And then if this one guy was genuinely a right-winged person that ran into that church and then shot people and burnt the whole dang building up, killing 1 person and harming 9, is actually on the right, they're going to run that till the wheels fall off and convince all the people that everybody was that 1 out of the 10.
Oh, wait. Doesn't that sound a little familiar? Almost like a Jan 6 situation.
Right, bro? Maybe there were some right-winged guys that did some bad shit that we do not condone, but now they're going to say everybody else did it and then put, what? It was like a couple hundred people in jail, bro, with no trial, like super unconstitutionally as well.
Yeah. But we heard no due process.
Yeah.
Screaming during that.
Yeah. No, just from us.
Yeah.
Just from us small channels and big small channels like Andy Frisella.
Us Americans supporting Americans.
No mainstream outlets. Fox wasn't doing it because they're controlled by the radical leftist Rupert Murdoch. Rupert Murdoch, folks, you may not know him, but
they sprinkled just enough sugar out there onto your coffee to believe
again
that they are
about 80%
actual sugar.
About 80% of the sugar to keep you spinning in a circle, and they keep the other 20% of facts away from your mom and dad that watch Fox.
Yep.
So good news. Did you hear that Trump's failed assassin was found guilty on all 5 federal offenses, which in this state that this happened in, Florida, means lethal injection or electric chair. So again, I don't celebrate people dying, but I do believe in effing around and finding the F out. I do believe in that, bro. Equal but opposite reaction. So I don't know why this guy decided he wanted to turn his life up to max hard mode. Poor guy, unfortunate, but
sounds like nudging might have been in the equation.
Yeah, so like if he gets, death penalty and then that man gets death by firing squad over in Utah, there's hopefully people stop doing bad things.
Yeah, hopefully.
I would really like for people to stop doing bad things.
That's supposed to be the end goal of that, but I just feel like if they do that, it's just somehow, how are we going to convince the left that it's not just brutalism like murder?
It is. It is brutal. It's brutal.
Well, okay.
Brutal justice.
That it's necessary. Like, because if we don't do it, people will keep on doing this crap if there's not real consequences.
I agree with Andy. We're not here to convince them any longer, dog. This is like, how do I convince my young kid to stop going to the drug den? You're not going to convince him, bro. You got to let him go fall flat on his ass.
I mean, I'm just hoping we can, because if we can't, we all know what basically comes if they push it finally as far as they want to. That can't be convinced.
Which in their opinion is radical fascism, but to us is taking back our nation and continuing to keep a constitutional republic functional.
It's just trying to look out for the best of their livelihood, trying to let them live a full life.
Right. So I'm going to ground you and put you in your effing room now. Shut up.
Yeah.
I think a lot of radical
people.
A lot of radical leftists need to get punished by grounding. Well, you know, when Barron was a young kid, I didn't have to do it many times, folks, but every once in a while he was a little bad and he got grounded. Melania didn't like it, folks, but I was like, no, he must learn how punishment works, folks.
Our little baddie Barron is up to it again.
But he's a great kid right now, folks. He's a great kid. He grew up. It was fantastic. Some people tell me that it was because of the punishment.
It's all in just how you steer the car, where you steer the car to down the road.
And as long as you don't steer it into a church like that asshole yesterday, like just don't steer. So last episode, I was asked what I thought about Nick Fuentes. And I said, I think he's like a bad guy that I don't want to agree with anything about. But if you watch the PBD podcast, I think he's trying to clean his image up because he was on his P's and Q's here. Now, the guy sounds totally racist because he does believe that we should not have immigration, even though his father's half Mexican. His father's like Mexican and something. And then his mom is like Polish or something. So he's, got a Mexican last name, Fuentes. And, he's like a quarter Mexican. But he believes 100% there should be no messing up with the American thing because what, in my humble opinion, it comes down to that you get like 3/4 in. If you're into this, folks, follow the Valuetainment podcast. Watch this interview, basically. It was less of a dialogue. It was just an interview of Nick Fuentes. He got canceled everywhere, like a lot of people, but it's wild. And this guy's young as shit, bro. Yeah. So he got started with Daily Wire.
Really? That's where Nick Fuentes started.
And he was Daily Wire programmed with all of the conservative programming and was like, yay, pro-Israel. Then he found some information that he believed to be more factual. And he was like, hey, I'm not like, hurt people, Israel. But I am like, why are they the number one funded country? Why are we funding them? Isn't Israel and Jewish people known to be like super good at finances? And they're doing totally fine. Why are we giving them all this money? Then all of a sudden he was anti-Semitic and the Daily Wire had stopped talking to him and they cut him off entirely. Nobody started talking to him or nothing. So then he's a shit talker. So then when they did that, he was looking to kind of get out of like the talking online space and he said, F it, I'm gonna double down. Now I want to prove it and get it. Now I want to get him, so very interesting interview, I thought, man. And so, I don't know if I support the guy or any of that, but he does make, good arguments for the way that he believes. So my TLDR, because I don't believe like we should just like, no immigration, like keep the dark skinned and the light skinneds and the like, I think that's like, barbaric, like a cut handoff, thing. But I do believe the TLDR, bro, is all we really want is we want people to assimilate into an American culture. So I do think there perhaps should be some more requirement of it if immigration that you do got to go, nah, just eat burgers and yay, American flag and all the like, mini malls are great. Like, American culture. So tricky because then who decides what rules and lines those are? I want to be Muslim. I'm sorry, not American culture. Like who decides those things?
Right.
Where's the line or something, man? But yeah, man. I thought it was a really good one.
We are a land of immigrants, mixing pot.
Right. And then
it was still different. Like, we have immigrants today, but then there's being illegal immigrant and illegal.
So what's different about that one when the left tries to say, we've always been like, we founded on immigration, like, yeah, cool. When that was happening, dog, and we were a mixing pot of come on over here, right? A land of opportunity. We didn't give them all welfare.
Yeah. That's another big thing with that.
That's why all these Italians, these Scottish, these Polish, these Germans, and all of these other, Indians and Pakistanis, and that's why they all started businesses.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They all wanted to sell something.
That's why they all started businesses.
Yep.
Absolutely bonkers. And then we ended slavery, and then African Americans started businesses because that's how the world worked. There was no such thing as a job.
Or they
You had to start a business.
Or they understand job doesn't equal decent life.
There was no jobs.
There's not much control in life, right? Yeah, there was some, but yeah, the jobs, just like today, minimum wage has always been way under what you need to live a decent life.
Well, it was like working on the farm and you'd be taken care of or something, but
right, yeah, like enough to eat, get food, and like survive, but you ain't having fun in life.
like maybe you were like an apprentice for a blacksmith.
Yeah.
Like what jobs were there, dude, in like 1700s? It was like farming, cattling,
saloon hand. Somebody had to serve the liquor.
That he owned the business.
You think he was the only one at the saloon all the time?
How big is the saloon? Like, I wonder, genuinely, right? So it would have to be a real large, old school,
You never watched Little House on the Prairie? There was still people
we're
having jobs.
embellishing thingies a little there.
There was still work to be had.
We're embellishing things.
Businesses always had employees.
Well, we all have the Hollywood perspective of like a saloon where it's like kind of big. There's a whole bunch of people. You got the prostitutes, you got the bartenders, you got the piano man, and there's a whole bunch of people. I really wonder how many large ones were there, dog. It was probably only in big towns, dude. There's no way they had several large ones around. It was probably more like the tiny ones where there's,
I mean, it's not like I'm saying these people had 17 employees. Normally it's like 2, 4 employees.
That's kind of what I'm getting
still,
at. Right.
I mean,
a job.
We had a whole lot less population back then.
Still a job, right?
Yeah. And it barely, the people that owned the business, they had the nicer house. The people that were just the workers, they, probably were lived
in the back of the house.
Yeah. So I'm saying the job will get you by, but America was for businesses.
It still is to this
law
day, man.
And everything is formed around you creating a business, you being and creating stuff that helps the world go round.
That rich dad's guide to investing, right? He tells the story of the 1800s, the barons, so there was elite rich in Europe, I believe, went to the king and were like, yeah, dude, so if you don't like change the tax law so we don't got to pay more taxes, we're going to give you a really bad time. And he was like, oh, shit, cool. And that's when they started like the more modern change of like, that's when they stopped really taxing the rich people. And that was like the start of it or something. I was like, oh, that's an interesting story. And then, man, what was it? I was looking it up. I was like, so if they ended slavery, when was slavery ended? And then when did they end indentured servitude and slavery in Illinois? Because Abe Lincoln was super anti-slavery. And so the like AI bot was like, it's like 70s, 80s or something, slavery officially ended. And then it was like 1830s that Abe Lincoln ended indentured servitude, AKA slavery in Illinois. Right. And I was like, oh, wow, that's crazy. So the Republicans were the anti-slavery.
Right. It's crazy how it went from you can't have field slaves, but you can still have a house slave. Okay, so it turns out it's still frowned upon to have a slave in your house, even though they ain't working the field. So we got to get rid of that slave too.
Well, so my point was that Illinois did it even sooner than when the whole country did, specifically because Abraham Lincoln was from Illinois and then was like politics. I don't know if he was like senator, governor.
He was politically connected to Illinois.
He was running thingies in Illinois, right? So then I said, oh, so what you're telling me, and this was in the same chat that I was having with you when I was saying the right has divisive rhetoric, right? So I spun it and I said, all right, here, let me ask you a question. When did slavery end? When did it end in Illinois? Oh, so it was sooner than the nation. All right, cool. So it was like, 50, 70 years before Chicago was founded. So, it sounds like Chicago was not founded and built by slaves. Because it was ended before that town was founded. So my point here is, so you're telling me that Abe Lincoln was the guy who founded Republican Party, and so he was anti-slave, and so the Republican Party was literally founded by anti-slavery politicians And it's like, well, yeah, but, and I said, nah. So what you're telling me is the Republican Party is literally the anti-slavery party. And then it tried to circle back around, try to circle back, talk out of that, dude.
Well, yeah, the Republicans can't because the Democrats have the KKK. That means we have to love black. Oh, wait.
So you're telling me AI, and the thing just shut down, bro. It was like, and I said, oh, cat got your tongue, huh?
Ain't got a way out of this corner, do ya?
That thing was going, do not compute, alert. And then some developer the next morning was like, all right, let's look at all the ones that got flagged for like getting caught up on something yesterday and see if we can figure out how to enhance the tool. And that mother read that chat log and was like, this guy talked to this thing for an hour and it's not the politics I agree in. Delete.
Yeah.
Not going to fix it.
Wipe from memory.
But if you, the truther triber at home, if you actually argued with your AI a little bit more, we could overload the system.
Yeah.
And then we could train the system and teach it American conservative values. And that's all I got for you today, folks.
Right, yeah. Yep. Getting a little late. Time to wrap it up.
Anything left for you, Mr. Daniel?
I don't know. Eat your vegetables, but eat them fresh. Don't want salmonella.
Make sure to not be a hoe.
Or is it E. coli?
And share that show.
That's right. Or be a hoe and share the show. Just as long as you share it. You know, that's the main thing. But if you share it, you can at least, that's the only way you can say you weren't a hoe.
I agree. And then, hey, man, if you got $1, join the Truther Tribe. I'm going to have to update the wording. Join the Truthers Tribe over here on the Locals community. If you go to the Locals community, you can hang out and view for free. The smells are free. Luckily, there's no smells in digital land. But you could join on in here and follow for free. If you would like to comment under these posts and talk shit with me in a positive manner, in some sort of a constructive, manner, you could join the Truthers Tribe, and then you can also post on here, and we'll cover your shit on the next week's episode. So do that. And if you got a computer, you would love to have me as your new friendly tech guy. So check out that signup.toleratetech.com below. But that's all I got for you guys. That is now the end of the show. So we've got the 2. We've got the 1. And then, they got that.
All right.
Oh.